I know what that is.
I feel like a lot of people know what it is. It's like a huge gas station, but like a Walmart style in the South, kind of Texas, Tennessee area.
And did you order that special, or did you get it when you were there?
Actually, my sister lives right next to one in Texas, so she sent. I got like 5 of these.
And
shirts.
how much of your wardrobe is tie-dye?
I think only 2 shirts.
Two shirts,
Surprisingly,
okay,
surprisingly, yeah, not
seen
Bill
tie-dye in a
Walton
while.
style. Yeah.
I can tell you, Ringo and I have something in common. Something in
Let's
common.
go.
Yeah, let's go.
Especially every day at 4:20.
Exactly. All right, so Ireland yesterday, at one point, I threw out a $100 bet.
Yeah, and you didn't pay me.
I have it.
Okay. Well, if you give it to me, I'll go to see Barbie.
Okay, there's a catch.
Okay.
Okay. So, I have a pink shirt.
Okay.
Bright pink, fluorescent pink.
Okay.
So you wear the pink shirt to see Barbie, and you get a picture of you standing in front of the Barbie standee in the theater. Ireland, pink shirt, at Barbie, in front of Barbie.
Done. Solo.
Done. There you go.
Is that happening tonight?
No, but you have to give me the $100.
Yeah, you get the $100 now. All right. Yeah, you get the $100 now.
$100, that's a good deal.
And then we need a full review of the movie so you don't just take the picture and leave.
Yeah, right. You've got to be able to report back.
No, I'll make Lisa go with me.
Yeah. No, Lisa will like it. Momo texted. I think Momo was going to stop by today. Momo texted me, said she saw it last night, and she cried at the end. Now, I don't quite.
Well, I cry at movies, so maybe I'll cry at the end.
Cry at the end of Barbie.
I cried it up.
Yeah.
That's how much of a sap I am.
That's a sad
I
movie.
cried at a cartoon.
Yeah. So,
Wait a second, you said it's a sad movie, Brian?
Yeah, Up.
It's Up. I thought you were talking about Barbie.
No,
Did you see Up, Greg?
Super
Of course I saw Up.
Did
I have
you
an
tear up
11-year-old.
when his wife died?
No, we've gone through this. I don't tear up in anything.
Yeah, it was the first.
I did not tear up.
First 5 minutes of the movie, she dies. He's alone.
Spoiler.
Sad.
But
Sad.
Spoiler, it's 20 years old.
It doesn't matter. So I actually did get close to tearing up the other day on Sunday.
What happened?
This is serious. It's serious stuff.
Okay. What is it?
Riley got on a plane to go to this camp that I sent her to. It was her first time on a plane without me or her mom.
Whoa, good for her.
And it was terrifying.
Okay. I
started to tear
glad you
up
brought
in my
this up.
chest.
I'm glad you brought this up because
yes.
it's weird you brought this because I'm considering doing this with Jack, which 5 years ago I would never have. I got a special needs kid, and 5 years ago I never even would have considered it. Post 9/11, could you walk Riley to the gate?
So now you can get a ticket where they'll let you through the gate, through security.
So you can stand with her right until she gets onto the actual ramp that goes onto the plane.
I watched her step onto the plane and waved to her as she left. I was standing at the door going to
and then
Burbank
does the
Airport.
flight attendant sort of
No, I mean she was
mind her,
with
or-
well, no, she was with other people at the camp, so it was like
Okay.
a big camp thing. But otherwise, yes, the flight attendant would take her on to the plane.
So this may have answered my second question, which was when she lands, where was she flying to?
She was flying to Oakland from Burbank.
Okay, so when she lands in Oakland, there were already people on the plane who could chaperone her.
Yes, she was already being chaperoned.
Okay,
So
got it.
if you moved back to Hawaii,
Right.
okay, and you and your ex had an arrangement
This happened, by the way.
that you had to fly her back and forth?
I'm her, not her, Riley, but our other daughter, Haley.
Right.
She, who's 21 now. When I was in Hawaii, she had to fly back by herself, and I was able to go up. This was 2011, 2012.
Okay.
So
but
I was
post 9/11.
Yeah, well, yes,
Yeah,
post 9/11.
10 years later.
So I was able to go to the gate with a security guard, and then the flight attendant took her off of the plane, brought her to me, and then
Okay,
I
this
walked
is
her out.
helpful information because I think a lot of people who have kids, for a while after 9/11, you could not go to the gate. So I didn't even consider.
They will give you a pass, a parent pass, basically.
Jack was born 1 or 2 months after 9/11.
Okay.
So his whole life has been weird with restrictions with airlines, but I guess they're starting to let him. I don't know, that makes me feel better that they let you walk Riley to the gate.
Yes. So I was walking. I saw the whole thing, and I will go to the gate to get her off of the plane.
Yeah,
I
I'm surprised you didn't fully tear up.
I didn't know you were going to bring this up, but I'm having a similar error. Well, a friend of mine is
With your
having a
child?
similar. Not with my child, but my friend Randy is having trouble with his mom, who lives in Decatur, Alabama.
Okay.
And his mom,
There's a Decatur in Illinois too. That's weird.
yeah,
Okay.
78 years old. Okay?
Right.
She refuses to get on a plane so that whenever he wants to see his mom, he's got to fly to wherever the hell and go to whatever the F and go to this town and see his mom. Is there any way to convince an older person to get on an airplane? Is there a way
you can't convince.
She's afraid it's going to fall out.
You can't
of the
convince
sky.
older people to do anything.
She's afraid of
I'm not gonna
turbulence.
go out
Hi, Momo.
like that.
By the
Hey,
way,
what's up?
Momo's here.
And
How
Bubba
are
looks
ya?
good. You got your full TV
they did
makeup
it.
on
They did
today.
the damn thing today. That's my girl Allison.
Your hair looks perfect.
Yeah.
Happy
you look
birthday,
good.
by the way.
There
I
you
missed
go.
your birthday.
I get to work with you next 2 days, right?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Nice.
I'm
nice.
all. You know what? I'm super glam today because I saw Barbie last night.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
did you hear the bet that Mason just gave me?
What?
All right. So, I have no interest in Barbie. None. I would.
You're missing out.
Okay, you would have to pay me money.
I'll pay you money.
Well, Mason beat you to it.
Okay.
So here's the bet. Pink shirt. I have to go stand in front of the Barbie, marquee.
Yeah.
And send a picture to Mason, and then
Okay.
give him a review of the movie. And he just gave me $100.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going.
it. I just want to see
Look what I wore
Ireland.
yesterday.
Did you wear all pink?
All pink.
Yeah.
Pink
You want to see it?
fishnets.
You want to see it again? You want to go with me?
I would see it again.
Did you see it? Did you take either one of your kids?
I did not know they're too young.
Too little?
I kind of want to go again
Daniel's
with
too
my
little?
mom. And 4. Yeah. No, it's
He won't
definitely
get
not
it. Is
for
it
a
G or is
4-year-old.
it PG?
PG. It's nothing really.
No, but it's definitely like a lot of
It's
social
suggestive,
commentary.
social commentary.
Yeah, there's a lot of
it's-
stuff. I think most of the jokes will totally fly over any kid's head. I wouldn't even take a kid who's I would take him maybe 8 or 9. That'd be the youngest.
Yeah.
John,
Now, you said you
I think
cried at the
I
end.
cried at the end. I was like, am I crying in the Barbie movie right now? This is, that montage at the end.
Oh, yeah, I know the montage.
Yeah, I'm not giving anything away. don't worry.
No, nothing. There's a
I
montage.
laughed.
I wouldn't
the
care if you
whole-
did.
Yeah,
I laughed
exactly.
the whole time. This is
It is very funny. That's the thing. There's a ton of social
really
all
funny.
that stuff, but it's really, really funny.
It's really funny.
Ryan Gosling's a dork. Will Ferrell's hilarious.
First of all, Will Ferrell, Kate McKinnon,
Yeah, Kate McKinnon.
Issa Rae. They're
Yeah.
all. They're all really
Well,
good. At
have you
this.
guys seen what's happening now? A lot of people who were asked to be in the movie and passed
Yeah.
are now regretting it.
Of course.
Bowen Yang, Matt Bomer, they were both offered Kens.
No!
Yeah.
They didn't do it. They're like, I can't believe I didn't do it.
Passed on Ken.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking also
Some
how
of them had,
fun that
honest
set must have been.
Yeah.
conflicts.
By the way, there were
Yeah.
multiple Kens, too.
Right.
There's that's another funny
Many,
joke.
many Kens.
I'll put it this way: I have not been to a movie theater since COVID. That was the first movie I had seen in a theater in a really long time, and it was the only thing that could get me to not wait for streaming.
Right.
And it was so fun. I went with a bunch of my softball friends, and it was like a girls' night. We're all 40 somethings, and we show up at the theater dressed in pink, and everyone at the there was a Lazy Dog Cafe near where we saw it.
Okay.
And there's 5 groups of other women in their 30s and
All
40s
wearing pink?
wearing pink. I'm like, are we all going to see the Barbie
it's all a
movie?
thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
If you go, you'll be the only guy there, probably.
I actually saw a guy wearing pink
Yeah.
at the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
He was with his wife and daughter, but
I mean, and we all walked out calling each other Barbie afterwards. It's not what you think it is. It's
Okay.
very well done.
Yeah,
All
It's
right. Well, I'm
interesting.
gonna find time to go.
Very
But
funny.
while Mason's on
When
vacation,
are you going?
I don't know. You're back Tuesday.
I'm back Tuesday
Between
for the
now and
trade
Tuesday,
deadline.
I'm going.
Okay.
yeah. So Momo, you never did get back to me
I
about
know.
a fantasy
I feel
baseball
bad.
trade, and I had to make a bunch of other
You
trades.
just did a bunch
Were
of
you
things.
still bitter about
No.
me forgetting your birthday?
No, that wasn't it.
You did get over
I
that?
texted
It
her
was-
over the weekend when
yeah.
Freddie Freeman was hot, saying, "Why aren't you doing this trade?"
I don't know why she didn't
She
do
said
it.
that you never officially offered her
No,
Freeman for Carol
It
straight
wasn't
up.
a straight up. Wasn't a straight
Well,
up.
there was a couple other
There's a
pieces
few-
in there.
You know what
but-
it was? I did talk to my Uncle Phil, and our take was we would do the trade after the trade deadline because one of the players you were putting in there might get traded.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Candelario, right?
Oh,
Jamer
Jamer Candelario.
Jamer, or however you say his name. He might get traded. And we were like, oh, well, let's wait till after the trade deadline. And then I meant to call you back and tell you about that, and then I just didn't. I've been in very bad kids sleep land lately.
Yeah,
Like Daniel is having nightmares at night and waking us up at 3 a.m. So now he's sleeping in our room, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
And then the baby's got a fever, so I've just been in weird.
You're in
moment.
full parenting
I
mode.
escaped last night to go see Barbie, and I felt kind of bad leaving him at home with the 2 kids.
So
I was
while
like,
we have
bye,
this,
see ya.
while we have this tremendous resource of Ramona
Yeah.
Shelburne here,
What do you want to know?
coming up next, the NBA off season's over. Where do the Lakers stand now? I've actually got ESPN's NBA post-off-season power rankings coming up.
Sounds like something you do in the middle of July.
Yeah.
Did you see what Magic Johnson said about Rob Pelinka?
Oh, no. Oh.
I'll tell you next.
Okay, good.
Oh, God. She doesn't even need us anymore.
The guest is teasing. All right. Hey, if you're injured in an accident, you got to immediately see a doctor, get back on the road to recovery. But what happens if you call up your doctor and they don't have an opening for a week or maybe even 2 weeks? When you call Jacob, you know Jacob is going to handle every aspect of your case, and that includes getting you a doctor's appointment, usually that same day, with a doctor in your area. And the doctor doesn't get paid until the end of the case, so you don't have to pay a penny out of pocket to get the health care you need. So even if you're in between jobs or you don't have health insurance, Jacob can immediately get you the medical attention that you deserve if you are injured in any kind of accident. Remember to call Jacob. Some attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob. He'll win for you. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com. And make sure you're following Call Jacob on Instagram. Go to @call.jacob for great advice and prizes and more. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
Ireland on 710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
710 and Michelob Ultra going to be in the city of Orange tonight to support the women's national team as they take on the Dutch. Join us for a watch party starting at 6 p.m. at Danny K's Sports Bar in Orange tonight. That's 1096 North Main Street. Got to be 21 or older. Tonight, 6 o'clock at Danny K's. Morales is going to be there. Travis Rogers is going to be there. The big CY is going to be there. So head out to Danny K's. Pepe Mantilla is going to be there tonight. Danny K's in the city of Orange tonight, starting at 6. So, Momo, you teased something. Let's pay off that tease.
So Brad Turner from the Los Angeles Times got a hold of Magic Johnson, who, if you ever
who I
follow,
think is in Europe.
Oh, always. Every summer, he's like, follow Magic on Twitter and Instagram. He's like from every fabulous place in the Mediterranean you can think of for like 2 months.
Yacht after yacht.
Yes. Now he's in Greece, yada, yada. Okay, so Brad Turner calls him. He flew, Magic left the yacht to be part of the Commanders press conference.
Yep.
And it did an interview with Brad Turner. He says, of Rob Pelinka, he did better than anybody in the summer. all the moves he made, he was the number one GM in the NBA this offseason. No question about it. All the guys that we signed will help LeBron and the other guys because now we are deeper. Rob is going to be Executive of the Year.
Okay. So is there anything else in Magic's history that he might have said about Rob Pelinka?
Yes. Like, I read this and I was like, I saw this quote and I was like, wow, how times have changed.
Yes, times have definitely changed.
I feel like it was probably 2019, so 4 years, almost to the day that he was on First Take, absolutely shredding Rob Pelinka.
Yep.
Like, who was the guy that who was backstabbing? That would be Rob Pelinka. I mean, it was like, this was that interview, and to go from that to this in 4 years is pretty amazing. And yet,
I'm not gonna be here.
I believe both.
Yeah.
Like, I believe both because I think Rob did do a really good job this summer. And Magic, at the time when he was mad at him, he was actually mad at him, right? Like, and so Magic is one of those guys, like, when you played with him, like, if he was mad at you, he was mad at you. If he was happy with you, he was happy with you. Like, what you see is what you get. And so I think that quote is genuine.
Mood has turned on
yes.
Rob
All right. I didn't know you were going to bring this up.
Yeah.
But you have opened up a can of worms of one of the things that pisses me off more than anything in sports for the last 10 years. And it's this. Rob Pelinka should already have an Executive of the Year award. The year the Lakers won the title in 2020. All right? So season starts. Everybody you remember they didn't make the playoffs the year before. Season starts. Lakers are playing. They hire Frank Vogel, which everybody said was a bad move.
Yep.
Frank Vogel's doing great. Lakers are doing great. Kobe, who is Rob's best friend, and Gigi, and Rob is her godfather, perish in this tragic accident. Any other person, I think, would have taken a leave of absence.
Checked out.
Because your life has just been devastated. Not only did Rob not do that, he stayed on the job, kept working. Then COVID hits. Okay, everything falls apart because of COVID. They somehow figure out a way to get the season back up and running. And Rob, and most GMs did not do this. Mm-hmm. Rob goes with the Lakers into the bubble.
Right.
Okay, he's rebounding at practice because there's a certain amount of people that you can get into the bubble, and he wanted to be there.
Yeah.
So he basically puts his life on hold, goes down to the bubble, and gets the Lakers through that and wins the title. And then they have the Executive of the Year awards. He got one vote.
Yeah.
And it's so blatantly obvious why. It's because he used to be an agent.
And used to negotiate
and
against
everybody
these
wanted
guys.
that job.
And right.
Like,
and so because these other execs who vote in the award are mad at him from when he used to negotiate deals against him, they won't recognize the work that he did and didn't give it to him. So I think Rob had a great offseason, and I hope he does get considered for Executive of the Year, but I'll be surprised because these other executives who should have given
last year?
He
will never win.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried for. He got one vote in a year where his best friend and his goddaughter died tragically in an accident. He didn't leave the team, went into the bubble, did everything right.
Yeah.
The Lakers won. You know who they gave it to that year too?
No.
The guy at the Clippers. What if they ever won?
Yeah.
Well, that was the year they traded for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Great, and got beat by Denver and blew a 3-1 lead.
I wonder when that voting took place, though.
Doesn't the voting happen before?
Remember that? But in that year, everything was screwed up because of COVID.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know when the voting took place, but he should already have one.
Yeah.
Well, he should have got a lot more, to be honest. He should have got a lot more this year.
This year, I thought. I mean, you took a 2-10 team,
and they made the Final Four
at the trade deadline.
Right.
Made the Final Four. I mean,
and if these guys don't want, I've actually had this conversation with Rob, and who'd they give it to? Ramon? Did they give it to the guy in Denver?
Monty McNair this year.
Yeah, or in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And so I brought that up with Rob, and he goes, "You know what?" He goes, "Monty's a great guy, and several people have tried to take over the Sacramento Kings with no luck."
Right.
And Monty was able to get over the hump. He deserved, he was completely happy for McNair and deferential, but he should have got a bunch of votes last year, and he should have won it in 2020.
Yeah, no question.
He finished 11th this year.
I mean, come on.
This year.
Yeah.
After that midseason trade where he traded Russell Westbrook.
Revamped the entire roster. Yeah.
Yep. I don't get it.
All right, so Momo, you're here. This is a good time to do this. I have got, and this is according to, so you know, all people you know, I think, Momo, Kendra Andrews, Tim Bontemps, Jamal Collier, Andrew Lopez, Tim McMahon, Dave McMenamin, Om Youngmasuk. I never say his name right. Youngmasuk. So this is their post-off-season, pre-season power rankings in the NBA.
You know what this is like? What's Ken's house? The Mojo Dojo Casa.
The Mojo Dojo Casa, yes.
Okay.
You don't need to say all that.
No,
Mojo Dojo Casa house.
But it just sounds cool.
Yes, it does. All right, so take a shot at how these experts have ranked the teams post-off season going into this coming year.
I would say the Lakers are top 6.
The Lakers, number 7.
Okay.
Lakers are number 7.
Please.
Who you like? Obviously.
Denver. You should put Denver 1.
Denver's 1.
All right, this is like who's going to do well next year?
Correct, next year.
Okay, Denver, Boston.
Boston's 3.
Milwaukee.
2.
All right, so we got 1, 2, and 3.
Phoenix.
Phoenix is 4.
They probably have the Clippers.
Golden State.
Golden State is 8, right behind the Lakers.
Oh, the Heat. The Heat. You got to give the Heat somewhere.
The Heat are 5th, yes.
Yeah.
So we don't have 6 yet?
You
Philly,
don't have
maybe?
6. You don't have
Philadelphia
9
is
or
6.
10. Philadelphia is 6, yes. So you're missing 9 and 10.
In Milwaukee, we already got.
I said Golden State.
Cleveland?
Okay, let's go with Cleveland.
Number 9.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more.
Somebody else in the West.
Yeah, somebody in the West.
Memphis.
Memphis.
There we go.
Momo
Nice.
completes the top 10.
That's about right.
They've got the Clippers at number 11.
It's about right.
Yeah,
I agree with
seems
that.
right.
I mean, the Clippers went out in the first round. We don't know about the health of Kawhi or Paul, and I mean, they should be back, but again, should be. They didn't really do much in the offseason.
Right.
And both those guys are due for big extensions, so...
I'm very anxious to see what Memphis is going to look like with Ja missing those first. I know
plus Marcus Smart I think is actually a good grinder for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get Steven Adams back.
And weirdly, they've played really well without Ja.
Yeah, but they also had Tyus Jones.
They had Tyus Jones, who's no longer there now.
Yeah.
So, and they have a really good GM. Zach Kleiman's the guy that used to work for the Lakers, and he's down there now, and he's just a super smart guy. And I just wonder if that's fruit of the poisonous tree. You know, if it's going to wreck that team.
Yeah, I mean,
if your best player is
in trouble
all the time.
Yeah.
And now they got rid of Dylan Brooks, so that'll help. But I'm very anxious to see how they'll be. I mean, is Ja going to be back
Memphis is going to be good?
Okay.
And I think that
maybe.
To me, Memphis is like the dark horse to win the Western Conference every year, right? Because they could have won it last year. I thought everything with Ja just derailed their season, but also Steven Adams and Brandon Clark getting hurt really derailed their season. They also have a lot of draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
Like they paid Desmond Bane, they paid Ja Morant. Those guys are under big contracts now, but they still have like all these first round picks that they can go out and make an impact trade with somebody for, and there's going to be some players this year that move that you wouldn't expect. So that's a team that I would watch because they've, as John said, Zach Kleiman's a really good GM. They've positioned themselves smartly, and
Taylor Jenkins is a really good coach too.
And I love adding Marcus Smart. Like that's exactly the kind of veteran guy you need in that locker room.
Yeah. He
and
sort
Derrick
of
Rose
replaces Dylan Brooks, right? In terms of attitude, in terms of defense, in terms of all that stuff, plays that sort of role. Plus a veteran in the locker room, which is what I think would make a difference. Would have made a difference this year.
I asked Zach once, "How'd you find Taylor Jenkins? Like, why'd you hire him?"
Yeah.
And Jenkins came from Greg Popovich's tree, and he was down in San Antonio. And he said, when we were looking for a coach, he said we sent our final 3 candidates an entire game, same game. And we said, when we interview you, we're going to ask you what you would have done differently in this game, or what did you notice in this game that you would change if you were our coach. And I thought, wow, that's really smart. And he said Jenkins blew him away. He goes, I'd change 90% of it.
Yeah.
He goes, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. He said after the interview was over, they knew they had their guy.
They also had a really long coaching search, which is you don't see that very often in the NBA where like I don't think they hired him until like late August or something. They did the whole draft. They did all that without him. And it was, the idea was basically like, we're going to just take our time with this and get the right guy, because at the time they were totally lottery bound. They were, that was when they were getting John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. and all those guys like really high in. There was a total rebuild. And I remember Jaren Collins, who was an assistant with the Warriors at the time. Now he's an assistant with the Pelicans. He was one of the finalists for that job. And it was just taking a really long time. And it was like, do you really want to leave the Golden State Warriors? The championship, KD, Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors, to go to this rebuild of an organization that, like, you have what kind of direction. And they hired Taylor Jenkins, and people were like, who's that? I've never heard it. Like, I never heard him on a coaching list. He's this guy who went to Wharton Business School. He's kind of like an, Andrew Friedman type. Like Wall Street kind of guy. He worked on Wall Street for a while.
Yep.
And then became an NBA coach.
Wow.
Like, really interesting background.
That's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
All right, we want to stay for Wheel of Questions?
You want me
We'll
to?
do that coming up next. Momo's hanging out. We'll do Wheel of Questions coming up. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Supporter of Team USA. That's today at Danny K Sports Bar in Orange, starting at 6 p.m. We'll see you there. And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
All right, here we go. Wheel of Questions time. Momo's hanging out today. And this is fascinating. Think about it before you answer. What would you do if you could see the future? What would you do if you could see the future? Because my first thought is, oh, damn, I would have to think about myself and see how I leave the world, but I would hate to know how I leave the world.
I would open a DraftKings account. Because think about how much money you can make.
Oh, you can make
like
so
right now,
much
the
money.
Dodgers are playing Toronto.
Yeah.
I would know the result of this game before it ever got played.
Yeah, I see. To me, that's easy. Whatever stock is going to go on a run, whatever team is going to go on a run. That's you can definitely make money if you see the future.
So think about it. You could have, nobody knew the pandemic was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
But you could have bought stock in Zoom.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
And you would have zoomed right to the penthouse.
Yeah. Aside from the money part, Momo, which is obvious.
I mean, I think, look, my first thought was I want to find out what happens with my kids.
Sure.
I want to make sure, like, Daniel and Jacob are good, and, you know, could I do anything to help them, or, you know, could I do anything now that could, you know, prepare them better?
What about sliding doors, butterfly wings?
Yeah, I
All of a sudden, you
know.
change one thing now, it changes
Like-
everything down at the end.
Dude, did you see Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Dude.
Dude. Totally, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Bergman, you can see the future.
Well, if the butterfly effect is in place, then I don't want to do anything.
Well, no, to bet on a game doesn't mean you're
that's
going to
still-
affect the outcome of the game.
Well, I mean,
It means you're
can.
going to have more money.
Right. So you said take out the money part, but if the butterfly effect is in place, then I don't want to go see what happens with Riley, which is what I would want to do. I don't want to go see if I end up married again, because then I would know who that person is, and I would ruin it. So,
Right.
So,
Right.
so then why do if the butterfly
So
effect?
you're
is,
saying it's pointless?
it's pointless if the butterfly effect is in place. If there's not, then there's things I want to do.
I don't know. Butterfly effect is always
Explain what the butterfly effect
that if
is.
you change one little thing, if a butterfly beats its wings at a slightly different pace one day, it'll somehow have impact on the entire world. So in other words, if you change one piece of your present, your history is going to go completely all over the place.
Right.
And if you change one thing in your future, which isn't actually a premise of the question, you could screw up everything.
yeah,
that
like
you're
if I
living
go
now.
see, like in the Bill and Ted's 3,
Yeah.
right? I think this has been out long enough we can say this, right? They go and they see what happens to their kids in the future, right?
Yes,
like,
yes.
And they're kind of upset about it.
Yeah.
And they want to go back and change it, but like everything they do, man.
Dude. I heard they're making another one of those.
It was good. The last
They
one
make
was good.
money.
We've outgrown that. Ringo, what about you? You can see the future.
Ringo.
I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind is the last week's lottery winner. Go
Yeah.
back. Those numbers, you know, a lot of
Oh,
them,
yeah,
7,
that'd be an
10,
easy way to make $1 billion.
Those numbers, easy. Yeah, I would not worry about money if I could see the future, but I would be tempted to see how it turns out for me, and
That is-
then I wouldn't want to know.
That is our answers to these questions are so right on. Like Mason is worried about how he's going to die one day.
Right.
John wants to make some money and play some bets.
Yep.
Momo talks about her kids too much.
Yeah.
Greg wants to
Being too
be-
safe, too careful.
Yeah.
too safe, too careful. And
pretty
Ringo
funny.
over there is
me
trying
all
to play
the
the lottery.
Yeah, just play
That
the
was
lottery.
so right on the money.
Yeah, it was. It was. All right,
Played
there's your
according to type.
there's your wheel of questions for today.
Yeah.
So, since you're here, Momo, we've been sitting on this story, and now's a good time to deploy it.
Do it.
Draymond Green was asked, he was on his podcast, and he was talking about basketball IQ. We hear all the time about basketball IQ. That guy's got a high basketball IQ, all that stuff. Here, listen to what Draymond Green says about basketball IQ.
Number one, I think there's not only do I not think there's many guys that has that next level of basketball IQ, there's not many guys that have a basketball IQ in the NBA. Like you talking less than 60% of the NBA.
And he's been nice.
Yeah.
He's been really nice.
Generous.
Really generous. But don't have an IQ.
What's the ATO? My fuck ATO. Like some coaches don't know what ATOs are. You know what I'm saying? It's like no cap.
So he's on somebody else's podcast, just to be clear. But
Everyone's on everyone's podcast.
yeah,
these days.
it's everybody's
amazing now.
sort of like so basketball IQ. He says about 60% of players in the league have a high basketball IQ. Does that sound about right to you?
Wait, hold on. Just at the end of it, he says coaches don't know what an ATL is. What is
No,
an
an
ATL?
ATO, an after timeout play.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, ATL. What's that?
I agree with him.
You
I think
do.
he's right. Okay. So as a writer, I oftentimes can tell, like when I work with an editor, I can tell in about 5-10 minutes of talking to them whether, and this is so arrogant, just going to lean into it, right?
Okay.
Do they hear the music? Do they get it? Right? Like you can, like, do you understand what makes a story?
Do you hear the music?
I know, it sounds so
I'm
silly,
really
right?
impressive.
Like, but
All
the truth
the
is,
music.
like, do they get it? Right?
Yeah.
You can tell on the radio.
Yeah.
Does somebody get it?
Yes.
Do they understand what we do here?
Right.
Do they understand the entertainment game, the radio game? How long does it take you to tell?
Oh, quick. Almost right away.
And has anyone ever surprised you? Like you thought they didn't get it, and then later they did.
I have a good one.
To it. Yeah, do you have one?
Yeah, that somebody has surprised me.
Yeah.
Keyshawn.
Yeah, that's right.
I predicted to his face.
Yeah.
When Keyshawn got the morning show job here, I said, "You'll be out of here in 3 months." And he goes, "Why?" I go, "Because you don't need it. You own like 20 Paneras."
Yeah.
I go, "You're on Dancing with the Stars."
Briefly.
You are,
one episode.
I said, "You're on ESPN Countdown, blah, blah, blah."
Right.
And I go, "Why would you want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and come in and do this? You'll get sick of this in 3 months. You're out." And he was always the first one here.
Yep.
Last one to leave. Got him, totally proved me wrong.
Did the local morning show and then went and did the network morning show and was out here getting up at, going on the air at 3 a.m.
I've told him 10 times since then. I said, "You completely proved me wrong."
The other, I thought the same thing with Key, and I remember talking to his agent. His name is Jerome Stanley, and Jerome goes, "Keyshawn likes nothing better than to wake up in the morning and be Keyshawn Johnson."
Right.
And I was like, I get that.
I did a show with Key before we gave him the morning show, and he looked down at his phone for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I told him that. I go, you were completely disinterested. And he goes, "Yeah, but I didn't have the show then."
Right. Oh, okay. So as a guest, it was different.
But I also mean,
than
like,
as a host.
He was invested.
Here, right? And so, when I'll be real about this. When Alan Slewa first started, I didn't know if he was a daily host kind of guy. Like, is he a Laker Talk guy or a daily host guy?
And now he's host of the year.
And he's host of the year. And he's funny. And I listened to that show.
He's very funny.
But
it's sometimes people surprise you. Sometimes they don't. You don't know if they get it, but then they do.
I can take what Draymond was talking about to another level.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, but what he's really saying is 60% of the league loves the life more than the game.
That's exactly right.
In other words, you can tell pretty quick whether a player is in the NBA. All these guys are talented. You don't make it in the NBA if you're not talented. So they all have the talent. But you could tell, like, Kobe had this sick, almost unexplainable work ethic.
Right.
And other players just didn't have it. And so you can tell, right? Like in TV news where I worked forever, there are people that want to be in the business and there are people that want to be on TV.
Right.
You can tell them right away.
Sure.
That's right.
At every single station, there are people that want to be in the business and do this for a career and take it seriously and work hard. And there are people that are in this because they can get a good table at restaurants and meet girls.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's,
That's funny.
It's
true.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I think what Draymond is saying, like, Draymond is like a coach. I mean, like Steve Kerr often says, like, I talk to him, like, what are you seeing defensively? This is a strange analogy, but like he sees things in a way. Like, remember how Kobe used to play soccer and Steve Nash used to play soccer, and they saw angles and they saw passing and they saw the way the game flowed in a different way than other people did because of their soccer background. And there's a certain basketball IQ that people have. Like, you just see how plays unfold. You see how a game is flowing from one quarter to the next. You understand why this play sets up 4 more plays, 3 minutes from now.
Right.
And I think Draymond sees the game at a different level. Like, he if he ever wants to be a coach, he will be an amazing coach. He might bite people's head off, might be a little too scary, but he really does understand the game. And so it's very frustrating for him to play with people who are not.
Yeah,
to people who don't get it. Like, you have to explain it to them. Like, I'll have conversations with like young writers or even editors or whatever, and I try to explain how to do story and stuff. And like, there's some people who listen and they're like, you're like, you got it, and they're like, yeah, I got it, and then they'll say it back to you, and you're like, not at all.
Yeah, right.
Not at all what I was talking
about.
Not at all. Yeah.
All right, I want to get something in before 2 o'clock call of the day. So I found this on Reddit.
I love when you do your show prep on Reddit.
Yes.
He says he doesn't actually look at Reddit, but apparently.
Which Reddit?
Just Reddit general. I like Reddit dilemmas, okay? So this is a good Reddit dilemma. Mm-hmm. So how do I tell a coworker to leave me alone in a respectful way?
Oh.
I have a coworker who I'll call Ann that I barely know. She is very talkative, but I don't understand half the things she says because she mumbles, and I just end up smiling and saying, because I want to do my work and end the conversation. I've tried letting her know, hey, I got to get back to work, or sorry, I really need to get going. I need to do this, but she keeps talking. What should she do?
One word. Headphones.
You don't consider that to be rude? Aren't you rude to your coworker if you put headphones in?
No. I'm working.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good one.
that?
Actually.
I'm working?
I'm working.
You don't think that offends Ann?
Can you get a call?
But I can pretend I'm on the phone. It doesn't matter. She doesn't know what it is. Get one of those. The
one with the
Bluetooth earpieces.
Oh,
and whenever Ann comes up to you, just go.
Oh, I'm on the phone.
Yeah,
I'm on the phone.
It's good, actually. That's
Talking
good.
on
That's
the
what
phone.
every NBA
Yeah.
player does when they're in their locker room. You're like, hey, you try to get their attention, and then they look up. They're like, oh, I had the headphones on. I couldn't hear you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Headphones can get you out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's good. I do that.
Is it rude?
Earpods also work. Same
they-
as headphones.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I get annoyed when people come in here during the show and start talking. Like that's.
So what do you do?
I just say like, hey, we're in the middle of the show. Can you talk to me in the break?
Get the F out.
Yeah.
How
But
about
what
that?
if they don't?
If they don't, then I say,
That's
hey,
what this
stop.
person's problem is. That
I
they don't.
I do the John.
You put on your
I
headphones.
always leave my right ear off, just
Yeah.
like you do, and
Yeah.
I just go. I just take it and I put it over.
You know why I leave my right ear off, by the way? So someday I'll have one ear for hearing.
It's just more
This
comfortable.
one is so
Yeah,
loud.
you know
Okay,
what's weird? My left ear is. We're the same. We're gonna have hearing in one ear when we're
I'm
done
saving
with this.
my right
It's
ear
amazing
because my
So,
volume on my
I have
headphones
sat
is
in
so
here
high.
this entire hour, and I didn't have headphones on, but it doesn't matter because your headphones are so loud. I can
You
hear
hear
everything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Michael does the same thing.
All right, so it's 2:00 call of the day. I don't know how we're going to focus this thing. How are we going to focus this 2:00 call of the day? Bergman, you're the producer. What do you want to do?
Well, wait a minute. I thought the point of the 2:00 call of the day was that they could ask us anything they want. It's an AMA, right?
Oh, AMA. Okay, AMA it
You
is.
can literally ask us anything. I mean, it's probably your only shot because
Yeah.
Bergman doesn't like taking calls. So every day at 2:00, we make him take a call.
Yeah, nothing wrong with an AMA. I like an AMA.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a little while with the AMA.
We have not used the letters A, M, or A.
The letters
on
may
show.
not have been
This
used.
is the first day we've actually
last
said
time-
A and M and
The
A
last time
all in a
we
row.
had an AMA, the guy told us about a poker hand he had.
Okay, AMA 877-710 ESPN. Something
By
you
the
never
way,
thought
poker
to ask
hands
before.
are like fishing stories. Everybody's got a bad beat story
Oh, God,
in poker.
yeah, I've heard all of them. Yeah, he had a royal flush. I get it. All right, 877-710 ESPN. Never miss a moment of Mason and Ireland. You can always listen to the podcast on the all-new ESPN LA app, brought to you by Francis Coppola's Diamond Collection Wines. Coppola's Diamond Collection offers the perfect wines to celebrate both big and small occasions this summer. Enjoy your summer with Diamond Collection Wines. Momo, thanks a lot for coming over.
I'll see you tomorrow, Momo.
Yeah.
You're in.
Let's do it.
2
Momo's
days
back
of
here tomorrow.
Momo in Ireland.
Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
Karma Brands radio station. It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
2 o'clock call of the day in a moment here. 710 Michelob Ultra going to be in the city of Orange tonight to support the women's national team as they take on the Netherlands. Join us for a watch party tonight at 6 o'clock at Danny Kaye's Sports Bar in Orange, 1096 North Main Street. Got to be 21 or older. Tonight at 6, Danny Kaye's. Morales is going to be there. Travis Rogers is going to be there. The street team will be there. Do we call them the street team? Our team will be there. It'll be a fun night tonight. So that's Danny Kaye's, 6 o'clock tonight in the city of Orange. All right, so AMA.
Yeah, it could be stuff we brought up or stuff we haven't brought up. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. Let's go to Jay on line 3. Let's see what he wants to talk about.
Hey, Jay, what's going on? Don't ask us how we're doing.
Well, I asked that question last week, and I asked the forbidden question, and I got cut off.
Okay, good. Well, glad you're back, Jay.
Well, you've arrived.
Okay, so I wanted to ask a question to Mason.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to put a chip in your head.
Yes.
Mason, if I remember correctly, you grew up Catholic. Wouldn't you call it the mark of the devil?
No, I would. That's by the way.
What is he talking about?
An interesting conversation. So you're saying when everybody gets a chip in their head, that'll be like Antichrist time and stuff like that, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
So John, you're an old Saturday Night Live guy, right?
Yep.
You remember what Dan Aykroyd used to tell Jane Curtin during the
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can say.
Don't say it now.
I would say it, but Mason will dump it.
Yeah, don't say it now.
Oh, he will. Oh,
yeah.
Too good though.
He'll dump it.
Well, that's what I would say to you, Mason, because you don't do that kind of thing because that's the kind of thing that is Antichrist kind of stuff. And you do it Catholic.
Why? Okay, explain to me why it's what's he talking about? Why is it Antichrist?
Okay, it's a very weird call. But here's the deal. Now, do you remember? Remember the movie The Omen?
Yep, Damien.
Remember he had those six.
Yep,
those
666 behind his ears.
Behind his ears. So the idea is that someday world governments will give us like passwords or chips in our hands or credit cards or real IDs or whatever that is, and that will be the mark of the beast. Once you have that, that'll be the mark of the beast. I used to be a really devout Christian, so I know this because I've read the Book of Revelations. Pick it up; it's really it's a great read. But that's the idea. I don't believe the chip in the head is a sign of the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Now, what about that for a call, Bergman? We got a shout out for the Antichrist in that call.
That was a very strange AMA, but if we want to talk about Antichrist, that's where we're going to go.
Why not?
Hey, did you see this tweet that we got yesterday after the show?
I need more information.
I'll read it to you.
Okay.
And you can react.
Okay.
Morales literally ruins every show. How does every show let him interrupt and make it about himself always? I listen from 3.5 hours away where the sports radio is crap. Dude literally ruins the best show ever. In parentheses, Mason and Ireland.
Wow. Well, I love the guy's love of the show.
Right. And he puts hashtag less Morales.
Less Morales.
I think Chris actually responded to him.
Did he? Morales always responds to angry people.
Yeah.
Because
the guy sent a picture. And
what's this guy's name?
This guy's name is John
Steve Mason.
John Kaplan. John Ireland.
John Kaplan.
His name is John Kaplan. Bergman, you're running this place now. Respond.
So, Chris Morales is the voice of the station and was the personality of the year at the
Manny Awards. Yes,
He actually, I think, he makes a lot of these shows better and is a big part of what we do here and is a big part of how the station now has become what it has become. So, I'm sorry, John Kaplan, but is this actually John Kaplan or is it John Ireland and Scott Kaplan?
No, it's John T. Kaplan is his handle. And he refers to himself as Mad Cap.
I think that
Mad Cap.
Morales is extremely, extremely talented, and everything what he comes on here for is all for a purpose, and it's done very, very well.
I will say this, Mad Cap. I used to feel the way that you do, and then Morales won me over.
Yeah.
He kind of won me over.
Jury's still out for me. Jury is still out.
I can understand how you get frustrated.
That's a dumbass question.
Yeah. I don't think it's a dumbass question.
No,
I do.
Do you think it's dumbass?
I do think it. Yeah, Morales is a huge part of everything that we do here.
Yeah,
Absolutely
he is.
not.
He definitely is. He's a huge part. Like it or not, he is.
Did he just walk in?
Oh, did he?
Let's let him
walk by.
Get him.
Let him respond.
Let me go get him.
Morales.
Yeah, I used to feel this way.
He can pump up his Danny K's in Orange too.
But there, I will
Look
say
at Morales.
this:
He's like, I'm
that
so
if you
over
are
this.
if you are on the radio,
yeah,
and all of us that are on the radio,
Yes.
there are people that hate us.
Yes.
It just comes with the territory. Well, I just read this guy who attacked you, Madcap. I saw that you responded to him.
Was that on Twitter?
Yeah, he said, Morales literally ruins every show. How does every show let him interrupt and make it about himself always?
I have a good agent.
I listened 3.5 hours where the sports radio is crap. Dude literally ruins the best show ever.
What's the best show ever?
He feels us. I know you don't feel that.
He feels us. You prefer the
maybe
afternoon
that's why
show.
he likes Mason and Ireland, unlike you.
I love Mason and Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
At times, I don't think you reach your full potential.
Okay.
At times, neither do you.
That's fine. That's valid.
Yeah, that's totally valid.
But I would
That's
say
everybody,
I
by
don't
the
think
way.
you'll be disturbed by this because everybody
I
gets
responded,
this.
didn't I?
Yeah. You responded about a picture. Did he send a picture?
Oh, he must have sent a GIF or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what your response didn't make any sense.
I usually respond to ones that attack our female employees, our female teammates.
Sure.
Because they're usually vile and mean for
they
people
are.
sitting in their basement.
Yeah.
I enjoy being attacked because, again, if you're taking the time to write something about me,
right,
who appears very, once a week and is the voice of the station, the imaging, then you must really be a P1 that you even know how to find me on social media and you know my name.
Yes,
must mean we're doing something right.
Well, and I've said this.
Just
before.
spell the name right. As
I
they
also
say.
used to defend Corporate Greg a lot. He used to take a lot more heat back in the day.
Yeah,
but I used to defend him a lot too.
Yeah, no, I mean here's the thing.
I used to say I was the what did I used to say? The president of Corporate Greg fan
and the only
club.
member.
And the only member.
The reality is that all of us are irritating at different points to everybody. Morales, you fall into the same camp. I think you get radio and you do a great job.
I also
and
don't
enjoy
think that
having you here.
I appreciate all that. You're not being truthful, but
I am. I'm being
I don't think
truthful.
that they understand that.
Totally truthful.
I don't think.
Trevor has just responded
Who's Trevor?
to John Kaplan's tweet, Madcap's tweet.
Oh.
And he simply puts, great tweet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. Great tweet.
See, now you guys are going to stir this up, which I don't really care. I think John thinks this is bothering me somehow. It's not.
No, I don't think it's bothering you at all.
Oh.
Matter of fact, I started this by saying it would not bother you at all.
No,
it wouldn't bother me.
I love it because again, that means that somebody pays attention enough.
Yeah. Why doesn't anybody say anything bad about me?
Oh, they do.
I don't like bad comments. Tweet me.
Not on the Reddit.
Not on the Reddit. You're right. Yeah, not on the Reddit. So tonight, Danny Kaye's,
How is the Reddit page going? I haven't referenced them in a while.
Haven't been there. I don't go to the Reddit.
I thought you
page.
get alerts.
No, I do get alerts, but they're not about Mason and Ireland. They're about like some lady who wants somebody at work to stop talking to her. It's like stuff like that, relationship stuff.
Right.
So Morales, tonight, Danny Kaye's, what's going on?
Danny Kaye's.
What time do you want people getting there?
Well, now we're going to unplug that Ethernet cable behind the dartboard, and Cappy's going to plug in.
Oh, nice.
And we'll start.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cappy's
so he's going to do his portion of Sedano and Cap
Nice.
from Danny Kaye.
starting at 4
very
o'clock.
cool.
So we'll be there at 3:30 to test it. If it doesn't work, the dartboard,
Yep.
then we're going to my house 10 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
But hopefully it'll work.
It's a good plan.
Good.
So that'll start around 4 o'clock. 6 o'clock, USA versus the Netherlands. We're going to be out there thanks to Michelob Ultra to support the women's national team. Travis Rogers is coming out. I thought Pepe was going to be here today.
Tomorrow.
Pepe Montilla will
Yeah.
be there. Producer Jorge, you guys remember him?
Oh, yes, I do
Traitor.
remember him.
Okay.
Love Jorge.
Who else is stopping by? Pepe, myself, Travis, Cappy.
Wow.
Producer
Pretty
Jorge.
good turnout.
Okay, so this
Carlos
is
Saisu.
this
And
is
at 6:10 p.m., I will chalk Travis's cue live on video. It's a billiards hall.
yes, good. You chalk away.
You know what I mean? 8 ball in the corner pocket.
Yes,
I used to say that a lot.
I don't actually know what you're referring to, but
That used to actually be my pickup line in Hollywood in the mid-2000s.
Oh, yeah, that
8 ball,
worked, huh?
corner pocket, Jack.
there you go.
So come on out to Danny Kaye's, 1096 North Main Street. Take that, Reddit page and Twitter. Try to find humor like that somewhere else.
Yeah,
you ain't going to find that on Fred and Friends. What is over there, Fred?
They're not even on today.
Oh, they're not?
No, they got a game.
Fred and I forget who. Fred and I forget who.
Yeah, you ain't going to find that over on 570.
Not getting that.
My man, they're talking about us over there.
That's a good thing.
Come on out, press the flesh with us. Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. I'll be having a couple of those tonight.
Nice.
And you know Travis will be eating the wings.
Yes, he will.
Among other things.
Will there be any chugging?
No chugging.
No
I think we can.
I think we're
not done. No.
We're not done with chugging?
That is
still gonna be
sponsored
more
for
chugging?
2024.
It's sponsored?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
For 2024?
The Travis Chug-Off.
That's how we roll around here.
A year in advance, it's sponsored?
Travis, listen, he's got that thing.
He's got pull.
As that
He
movie.
is the man of the people.
That mid-90s movie, that thing you do.
Yeah, man of the people.
Underrated, by the way.
I'm going to get in the car and head down to Danny K's.
All
Yeah,
right,
you got to
have a
leave
blast,
now, or
man.
you're going to be sitting in the Southern California beloved traffic.
Exactly right.
Plus, Madcap is pissed that you're on right now.
Oh, no, he's
Madcap, show up at Danny K's and buy Morales a beer.
No,
Come
we'll
on.
take a selfie.
Yeah.
The best thing is all these people, they say they tune out when they hear me, but yet they listen to what I say.
They're
it's
listening.
amazing how that works.
They're listening, Morales.
All right,
coming up next, every player that the Dodgers could be looking at for the trade deadline, which is just 5 days away. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
On 710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio, we're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwich between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
So I've been talking to my sources.
No, not really.
And I have some ideas about what the Dodgers might be doing at the trade deadline.
Mason is wrong.
Did we get Nolan Arenado yet?
No.
Wow.
Didn't.
No.
No.
So there are many players across Major League Baseball who are potentially targets for the Los Angeles Dodgers at the trade deadline, which is coming up in just 8 days. So they've added Kike
By the way,
Hernandez.
it's 6 days now.
6 days. Kike Hernandez, they've added. He's going to be a valuable guy.
He's in the lineup today. They're playing right now at Dodger Stadium. They're losing 2-0 to the Blue Jays.
Not having a great year. Didn't have a great year last year, but has had success with the Dodgers. I heard Travis Rogers say earlier today, negative value. He's below replacement level value, but he has the ability to play shortstop and second and third and left field and wherever else you want to put him. Super utility guy, makes sense. That does not mean that they won't pursue another bat. They're definitely going to pursue another bat. So but I mean, it's going to come down to pitching. I mean, that's what they need more than anything is they need pitching. And we've talked about him. Let's talk about him again. Lucas Giolito is the guy that makes the most sense. The White Sox are going absolutely nowhere.
Would you rather have him than Jack Flaherty?
I would have to know I don't know Jack Flaherty's contract situation off the top of my head. Is he signed past this year? Is he cost controlled?
Well,
I don't know.
Giolito is not, right? Giolito's a
walk-away free agent, yes. I think Giolito makes sense. I think Marcus Stroman makes sense.
Flaherty is in year one. He's in his last contract year. He's unrestricted next year.
So he's a walk-away guy also. Okay, good. So Lucas Giolito is definitely one guy. Jordan Hicks is a possibility from the Cardinals.
Although, didn't we hear yesterday they were working on an extension for Hicks?
An extension, yeah. Here's a guy that I would love to see with the Dodgers. David Robertson from the Mets. He can close. He can set up. He strikes everybody out. He would be a critical add to the bullpen. And I think they need to add not just one piece to the bullpen, but multiple pieces to the bullpen. Now, there is talk that the Dodgers are kicking the tires on Lance Lynn, and I say, why? Why? He's got a 6 ERA. He's given up more home runs than anybody in Major League Baseball this year. He's given up 28 home runs. I don't know why they're looking at Lance Lynn as a guy that can be the answer to any question.
The question would be innings eater. Look at who's getting the innings now.
But he's got 6 ERA.
So does Sheehan. And at least Lance Lynn is a proven major leaguer.
This is the first year that he's actually been bad. He was in the top 5 of Cy Young awards.
Right, but what do you care about?
3 years.
What he's doing now or what he used to do?
Well, I mean, it just depends. Like, he can be good. He has been good in the past. He's on a bad team now.
I hope they do not do this. Well, I mean, if you can give up, if it can be a super low impact deal, there's absolutely no downside to it. But I just don't think he's the answer or the solution to what the Dodgers have going on.
I think that the reason they're looking at him is the Dodgers are putting guys out there at this point that probably aren't ready to be major league starting pitchers. They're probably a year away. Sheehan, Grove, Miller's ready, but he's just young.
Yeah, he's inconsistent. Gavin Stone is another guy.
So Lance Lynn at least is a proven guy. You know, that's why they would look at him.
Yeah, I would want to look elsewhere. Those numbers are
Tampa
awful.
Bay is also in on him. That's a good team, even though Tampa Bay this month has been really bad. But that's another good team that's going to be fighting for a World Series berth, and they're going after him. So I think they're just putting their due diligence into every team that's out there.
If you can get him for nothing, get him for nothing.
Right.
If you can just eat the salaries, so what?
I mean, that's what they just did with Boston with Kike. They took off over half of his salary.
Right. Do you realize I saw an article about this in the Wall Street Journal, which I don't subscribe to because it's super expensive, and I've been cutting back on subscriptions.
You're right about it being super expensive. I looked into subscribing to it once, and it's like $5 a day or something.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But I Apple Newsed myself to this article, and they have suggested that the days of people at the drive-through window are over. That now artificial intelligence can actually take your order, process it through the restaurant, and somebody just hands it to you at the other end. So in other words, there won't be somebody saying, what can I help you with? That won't happen anymore. It will be completely, you'll be talking to artificial intelligence. That's how the restaurant will find out what you want. Are we just going to eliminate every job with artificial intelligence?
A lot of them, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, they theoretically could eliminate us. They could just get 2 guys that...
Theoretically.
They could go back over 25 years of Mason and Ireland shows and just make their own show. That's what this strike is about, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we talked about this, but their idea is you can scan... the studios want to scan any actor or actress. I guess we call them all actors now. And then insert their image into anything they want, including doing dialogue, and you own the rights to it in perpetuity. I mean, it's crazy what they're proposing. I understand why the writers are on strike, and I understand why the actors are on strike, and completely get it. Completely get it.
Yeah, they've got to work out something because and part of the problem is that nobody knows. It's kind of the Wild West. Nobody knows
exactly
what AI
what
is
it's
going to look like in
yeah.
2 to 3 years.
You're just kind of guessing at what it might be.
Right. Like, you never would have thought, like, remember you and I grew up going to music stores, and it was really fun. You'd go in there and you'd buy, depending how old
Remember
you
the
are.
Virgin Megastore?
Sure,
at,
you would buy either
Crescent Heights there?
albums, cassettes, CDs, and now that whole industry is gone.
Yeah, just gone.
Because the only way people listen to music now is they buy it online.
Although I think, Amoeba Records is still open, I think,
Yep, still
on
open.
Sunset.
Yep,
so
sure
you
is.
can still get vinyl. Are you a vinyl guy, Ringo, or are you just regular? Are you
No,
a
I do
vinyl?
like vinyl, yeah. In
I don't have
college,
the
actually, we used to play
but do you,
vinyl.
Brian? Do you have the ability to play vinyl now? If I handed you an album, do you have the mechanism to play it?
I do at my house, yeah.
I
So
realize
you have a turntable.
Yeah, we have one. It's not set up right now, but we have one.
Okay.
So
If
we
I
could.
gave any of the three of you a VHS tape, would you have the means to view it?
I actually
I don't think I
do.
could, though.
I
That don't
I
think
realized the
could.
other day that I do too. I have a combination
Me too.
VHS
DVD player. Yeah.
player that I have no idea if it works. I have not tried to activate it in years.
Yeah.
But it's set up in one of my rooms.
Yes.
I can take it to a store and they can digitize it and put it and send it to me as like an MP3.
But if I handed you a VHS tape, you don't have the ability to watch it at your house right now.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I can't even play a DVD.
How old
DVDs.
No.
Yeah, Greg, how old is Riley?
11.
Do you think she knows what a turntable is?
No, no chance.
I don't know.
No.
I mean, you've got to be a hipster to know what a turntable is.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to be, some guy in Silver Lake with a
Would an 11-year-old
Van Dyke
even know what a
and a
DVD
beret.
is? Greg, does she know what a DVD is?
Yeah, she knows. We played DVDs when she was growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think the vinyl thing is totally made up. I know people think, vinyl,
It sounds way
sounds
better.
so much better. It doesn't.
I don't think it does.
It does not.
It does.
It does not.
Yeah,
You
it's
hear
just
little
it's just
crackles and
retro.
stuff. Yeah, it's a bunch of like
Nostalgia.
You have these thoughts on things
Hi,
like
I'm from Los
whiskey
Feliz.
is just
Los
brown
Feliz.
water.
I have handlebar mustache, and
Wine is just red
I'm wearing
water.
a top hat, and I love vinyl, and I listen to NPR.
Tom Cruise doesn't do his own
hand in
stunts.
The NPR crowd is the crowd that listens to vinyl. And Tom Cruise, by the way, we had verification from John Ireland's
No,
friend
he
who
wasn't
works
there.
inside the system.
No.
He's inside.
He does more stunts than most, but by no means does he do all of his own stunts.
Thank you.
That's what my insider had to say.
Flying off the side of a mountain.
He's never worked with Tom Cruise.
I didn't ask him that if he's actually worked with Tom
Worked
Cruise,
with
but he
Tom
says you
Cruise.
can tell by looking. He says the way you can tell is look at the
please.
back of his head.
Yeah.
Please.
I saw the movie,
He
so I can
deep-faked
see
it.
the back of his head. I know that's the back of his
Oh,
head.
you can tell by
I
the
can
back of the
tell.
head.
Yeah, if you don't see him in profile, if you don't see his face in profile, you have no idea what he looks like. It's just the back
So
of
you're
his head.
going off the back of a guy's head whether or not he did a stunt.
Yes. In other words,
That sounds ridiculous.
if they're hiding...
That's a foolproof system. I don't know what you're talking
if
about.
they are hiding his face
I can
by
tell
showing only the back of his head...
Well, it's not only the back of his head. There's different portions
there's
of
cuts
it.
between.
Well, you can't always be looking at his face the whole time. You got to get other shots.
I don't know what...
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, all
He
right.
absolutely did his own
Yeah,
stunts.
he did not.
Hey, by the way,
Alex Fudge.
right now in all of sports, who is the most overhyped team?
Most overhyped team
Yeah.
in all of sports.
Right now, like today, who's getting most of the attention?
Yeah. Okay, let's do that coming up next. In the meantime, never miss a moment of Mason and Ireland. You can always listen to the podcast on the all-new ESPN LA app, brought to you by Francis Coppola's Diamond Collection Wines. Coppola's Diamond Collection offers the perfect wines to celebrate both big and small occasions this summer. Enjoy your summer with Diamond Collection Wines. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, are you hiring? Do you run a company? Are you staffing? You know, it can take up to 11 weeks on average to hire for an open position. That's almost 2.5 months. You don't have that kind of time. If you're listening today, I got some advice. Stop waiting. Start using ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps you find qualified candidates for all your roles fast. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Ian Siegel, the inventor of ZipRecruiter, puts it this way. They don't leave anything to chance. ZipRecruiter uses powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. So speed up your hiring process with ZipRecruiter. See why 3.8 million businesses have come to ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. Just go to that exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
.710 ESPN.
When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry.
So, Ringo is picking the music now for the show.
Oh yeah, you like this one?
What's the theme? What are we getting at with this, Ringo?
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yeah, happy.
Happy.
Get through
Happy
to Wednesday.
music. Yeah. There you go. I like that. Although I heard some Motown.
Yeah, the last one was a little Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, it was Marvin Gaye. Yeah. Bergman, are you consulting on this?
No, it's his choice.
That's
whatever
good
he wants.
song.
I mean, they are good songs. It fits Brian perfect. Ringo, excuse me.
Right.
It fits Ringo perfectly.
Who is singing?
Bobby McFerrin.
Oh, Bobby McFerrin. There you go. Yeah.
And he refuses to sing this song.
Why?
Now? Because he's sang it too many times and he refuses.
Oh, you play the hits, man.
Right.
If I'm going to go see a
People wanna
Bobby
hear it.
McFerrin concert,
And he
why
doesn't
would
play
I?
this, yeah,
And
then
he
I'm
doesn't
out.
Play, don't
Wouldn't
worry,
be happy.
Name another Bobby McFerrin song.
Yep,
thought so.
I think he covered. No,
not covered. His own song.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah, this is the
So
only.
you're saying there is no Bobby McFerrin concert?
He's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, I guess he is a one-hit wonder. Yeah. All right. So Ireland, you asked me a question.
All right, yeah. So I watch Get Up a lot.
Yeah, I love the Get Up
because I'm up at 5 a.m. when it starts. And Mike Greenberg, the host of Get Up, every single day talks about the Jets.
Oh my God, it's his team and it's kind of the story.
I think the Jets, who have not won anything, are the most overhyped team in all sports, and now they're coming to Hard Knocks. You know, Hard Knocks starts next week. So Louis Riddick, who works at ESPN, has had it with Greenberg. He's had it with the Jets. He says it's time, literally, to put up or shut up. Here's Lewis Riddick.
As you've been saying all off season, Aaron. I agree with Aaron this, Aaron that. All last year, what was it? If we had a quarterback, we would be winning the division. We'd be smoking Buffalo. Yep. New England wouldn't even be in the picture. We could deal with Kansas City. We can deal with Cincy. We'd be as good as anybody. Well, what did they do this offseason? They went all in. They got the 4-time MVP. He brought his offensive coordinator. He brought a couple of his boys in Lazard and Cobb. They have firepower on the perimeter. They've got a shutdown type caliber defense. No. Win the Super Bowl or shut up.
Isn't Riddick right?
Well,
I mean,
isn't this a function of us, meaning ESPN? I mean, we have placed so much importance on Aaron Rodgers. He is right now. He is the most talked about player in the NFL. I think, without question. Right. We talk about Aaron Rodgers.
So they're the most talked about team right now in the AFC. Bergman, who's the most talked about team in the NFC?
In the NFC?
Most overrated or most talked about? Okay.
I think it fits both descriptions. I don't think the Jets are even winning their division.
I think the Jets will be in the AFC Championship game.
I mean, it's got to be the Cowboys.
No, it's Detroit. People will not shut up about Detroit.
Winning 10 games, 11 games.
I don't think they're going to win.
Playoffs.
I don't think they're going to win their division.
Yeah, I
think the Jets and the Lions could both make the playoffs because a lot of teams make it now. But really, shouldn't they win something first before we anoint them? Even Dan Campbell, the coach of the Lions, said this hype train is out of control.
Right, but what are they being hyped as? In other words, I look at Jared Goff. I think right now he's the second best quarterback in the NFC. And he's got that. He's got a fantastic offensive line.
Wait a minute. You'd rather have Jared Goff than Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You'd rather have Jared Goff than Matthew Stafford?
That's the argument there.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
You would?
I'll take Stafford over Goff.
Well, then Stafford's the second best quarterback in the NFC.
And Goff is right there. But Goff was the second best quarterback in the NFC last year, behind Jalen Hurts. I mean, just strictly on performance.
Well, it's strictly on stats, but he's never won a big game. I mean,
didn't they win 8 of their last 9? I think last year.
Well, they won 10 games, right? They just didn't make. They didn't make the playoffs. I think they were 10-7.
No,
look it up, Greg.
I think they were 8-9, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the Lions finished 10-7. They just didn't make the playoffs because everybody was ahead of them. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I think the Lions are overhyped and the Jets are overhyped, and I think that we're going to find out really quickly if they can live up to it. Because the NFC just doesn't have a lot of good quarterbacks.
No.
Which is one of the reasons why. Well,
that's why we're down to Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, and Jared Goff. Those are like the 3 quarterbacks in the NFC. And Kirk Cousins, I don't put in that category.
Lions were 9-8.
9-8.
All right, so there you have it. And did not make the playoffs.
No, did not.
Yeah. I don't know. Are the Lions super hyped?
Yes.
Is that really a super hyped
Even
team?
Dan Campbell came out this week and said, our hype train is way out of control. We've never won anything. Here's an amazing stat about the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've been in the NFL for 53 years.
Right.
Take a guess how many playoff games they've won.
Oh.
In 53 years.
53 years, I'll say 3.
1.
Barry Sanders, right?
1 playoff game. No, I don't even know if he was on that team.
I know it was Matthew Stafford, and I think it was Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, did Stafford win a playoff game in Detroit? I don't know.
Maybe he didn't.
They've won 1 playoff game in team history. Now, that division this year is interesting. Minnesota won it last year, but then they fizzled out. They lost to the Giants in the playoffs. I think Minnesota probably wins it again.
Give me Detroit.
1991.
I think that was Wayne Fonts.
Eric Kramer, maybe.
And I think Barry Sanders Gregg was on that team.
Yeah, it would make sense.
I think Eric Kramer was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
And
God, can you imagine?
But I mean, they're like synonymous with losing.
Yeah, they really
They're
are.
kind of the Clippers of the NFL.
Right. But here's the thing. We always say that. In the case of the Lions, 1 playoff win. This totally different team, totally different year, totally different coach, totally different players, totally different.
But I don't know if there's another.
You're not necessarily a hostage of your history.
Well, except that I don't think there's another team you can say that about. Is there another team that has 50 years of existence and 1 playoff win?
But again, I'm going to say this: that blemish of history, the fact that they doesn't affect this group. unless you believe the Lions franchise is cursed.
Well,
isn't this the same thing as the Clippers and the Padres?
Clippers and Padres.
Well, at least the Padres have been to the World Series. The Clippers have never been to the finals.
Right, never been to the finals. So that's a little, but you're never
It's the same type of thing.
You're never a hostage of your history.
Always very hyped. Clippers have been very, very hyped. The Padres very, very hyped.
You hit on it. If you have a bad ownership group,
right,
then it tends to spread disease throughout the franchise.
Now, I don't think they're a bad ownership group, are they?
The Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Are
the
they?
Ford family who owns the car company.
Because they built a new stadium there.
Yeah, but 53 years, one playoff win is bad.
Yeah, they didn't pay Megatron the money they owed.
They didn't
him,
pay
too.
Barry Sanders.
They didn't give Barry Sanders
Well, you know,
a
the
deal.
other team that has this type of reputation of being really bad owners are the Bengals, but now they have Joe Burrow, and so now they're good. Now the Bengals, you can overcome it.
Yeah.
But if you have, like the Chargers, nobody thinks Dean Spanos knows what he's doing.
No.
But they have, Brian, I know this is your team, they have a really good chance this year to win that division and go deep. The problem is Kansas.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Problem is Kansas City's in that division.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it on the Chargers. I'm not buying on that.
I'll take them in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think they're making the playoffs too.
Yeah.
If Justin Herbert
Let's
stays
see how
healthy.
Herbert plays with $250 million on his shoulders.
Yeah, well, but I mean, now that they're paying the quarterback, his extension kicks in next year. They're gonna have to get rid of some of the other guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they better do something this year.
That's the downside of
Yeah.
it. Like that's why Mahomes has said he doesn't want to restructure his contract. He knows it's not market level, but he doesn't want to restructure it because he wants them to be able to bring in the talent that can help him win. Because winning ultimately is more important than money, at least for him.
Well, he's going to get paid.
Oh, he's going to
either
get paid.
way.
Yeah, he's going to make his money. All right, coming up next for you, it's time for a little What's Up, Fool? Bergman's going to throw a bunch of stuff at us. We will do that coming up next for you. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. All right, so this just came down, and the Lakers have waived Cole Swider from their two-way contract, and instead are bringing in Alex Fudge, who was a forward that was apparently played pretty well during Summer League. Ireland, tell us a little bit about Alex Fudge.
I don't know anything about Alex Fudge. I do know something about Cole Swider. I think that he's going to have a career in the NBA or in Europe because he's a really, really good shooter. But I don't know how he was defensively, and I'll put this as politely as I can. If you don't play defense, Darvin Ham's never going to play you. So I think that's probably what this is about. I'm guessing that defensively you need to engage defense, or what Darvin would say if he was here is, there are players in the league that play themselves off the floor defensively. In other words, you can take advantage. And if you're one of those guys, you better be so good on offense that it would cripple your team to come out. And so I think that's what this is about.
What's up, fool? You didn't want to know my...
Tell me about Alex Fudge.
Okay. So here's the thing about Alex Fudge. Very long. Very long. And also very athletic and a high basketball IQ. I think those are the reasons why they're looking for a guy like
good
Alex
defensively?
Good.
Because that long reach really helps.
He's a grinder. Yeah, he gets into passing lanes.
Gets hands on balls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not afraid to dive on the ball.
Yeah.
Really
muck it up.
Mucks up the game, all that stuff. So I'm excited to have Alex Fudge on our roster.
What's up, fool? I don't know if you guys saw earlier today, there was a U.S. Congress hearing on some aliens.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play you a little sound here from the bit today.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
So they're already here, apparently.
So that guy's under oath, too, testifying before Congress. He's not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. So this goes back to, if you follow the Roswell story, you know that there was allegedly something that crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. There were alien bodies on that craft. They were taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Hangar 19 in Dayton, Ohio, to be studied. That is the myth of the Area 51 story.
I believe all of it.
You believe all of it?
Hell yeah.
You believe there are alien bodies in Hangar 19 at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio?
Why would we be having hearings in Congress? Of course I believe it.
Oh, you're right. All hearings are very valuable in Congress. They are always doing
Brian, you believe in UFOs?
Oh, yeah. They're already
Bergman,
here.
believe in UFOs?
1,000%. This is absolutely a real thing. To think that there
Mason,
isn't
are you
life
the
somewhere
only
else?
doubter among us?
I am.
You can't believe there's not other life on other planets.
Will you stop taking me out of context? I believe. Look, here's how sure I am. There are people out there, or beings out there. There are billions of galaxies, just like our billions of galaxies. There's absolutely life somewhere out there. But if they have the technology to get here, why do they care about us? Like, why are they visiting? What is their point? We're a very primitive culture compared to somebody who's able to go light years to get to us.
Maybe there's minerals that they really like
here. Do you really
here.
think they're here for the minerals?
They're possible. It could be
magic
anything.
Space rocks to fuel their planes.
You could kill them by water, like in Signs.
Like in Signs, yeah. No, I 100% believe there's life out there. I just don't think they'd be wasting any time with us.
I believe they are wasting time with us, and pretty soon we will have there'll be an intergalactic NBA where guys are like 11 feet tall, and then we're gonna have to raise the baskets to like rock and jock height.
The aliens have human rights violations. I will not support.
Yeah,
that.
again,
so John,
you and your human rights.
So you believe in the Monstars?
Of course.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the Monstars would have won that game had they not gotten cocky.
I know. Well, Michael Jordan had a stretch, and he made that last-second stretch. It was amazing.
I just don't understand why there aren't more pictures of stuff.
You just don't believe the pictures you see.
There aren't enough pictures of aliens. In fact, if you've got an actual picture that you think demonstrates an alien being or an alien craft, tweet me at Venice Mace, M-A-S-E, or X me, I guess. X me at Venice Mace,
No, it's not a
M-A-S-E.
zeet or whatever they call it.
Is that what they're doing?
X-E-E-T, it's a zeet or something?
Zeet, zeet me. Zeet me.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But
So
either
stupid.
way, even if you get it, someone will send you something, you're not going to believe
I'll
it.
be the judge.
You won't believe it.
I've seen lots
Just
of
like all your ghost pictures. You don't believe the ghost pictures.
There are no ghost pictures.
Well, yeah,
if
you
you
just
have
don't
a picture
believe
of
them.
a ghost,
You see them, you just
tweet
don't believe
me
them.
at Venice Mace, M-A-S-E. Literally, we live in a world where everybody has a camera in their pocket at all times. Are you telling me we wouldn't be seeing more of this stuff?
They come out, you don't believe them.
Show me something real.
No,
You
just
show me
Google
something.
it.
You show me
Google
something.
it.
You do it.
Google it.
Right.
What's up, fool?
Jeez. Jim Harbaugh suspended for the first 4 games of the season due to lying to investigators about recruiting violations. The games are at home against East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers.
BGSU.
Is this really a suspension?
No, not so much. 4 games. They're favored in all 4 by double digits.
Yes.
I don't think they miss a beat.
Apparently, Rutgers, it was a one-score game the last 2 years. If that sounds right. I heard today on the Sports Center.
Either way.
But I mean, it's a gimme run. There's no question about it. By the way, 3. I think the first 3 are at home against Bobos.
All 4 of them are at home.
Oh, they're all
all
okay,
4
so
at home.
4 Bobos, bang, 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 bang. He's
Right.
back. Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, all right, we'll just let you get through that.
I think they will be 4-0 when Jim Harbaugh returns.
Here's my question. So he got busted for contacting players during dead periods.
During COVID. Yeah.
Now, why is that against the rules? Why shouldn't you be able to do whatever you can to recruit somebody? I don't care what day of the calendar year it is. Why ABR, always be recruiting. I don't know why there is a dead period.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this, but I think it's to make the rules the same for everybody. Because if there's not a dead period, you'll have somebody calling the next LeBron James, whoever that is. Well, since we're talking about football, the next Patrick Mahomes,
right?
They would have people calling him every hour.
Well, I mean, we live in a world where players can transfer twice a year. If you're
but
a
I'm just saying, I think it was
player,
actually
you can transfer twice a year during your career.
Yeah, it was actually to protect the recruits more than to deal with the schools. Because if not, your phone would ring every hour.
Yeah, if you got an NIL money for me, I'm in the book. Give me a call if there's NIL money available.
Unless
That's
it's
what I
from
would
the
think if I was
Saudis,
a
then you
player.
don't want it?
I don't want anything from the Saudis.
I feel like it also is
me
just
and Mbappe the same.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll take money from whatever country it hails from.
You've never said truer words.
Yes.
I feel like it's also to help the kids out. Like, they need a second to breathe, you know? They're not even 18. A lot of these kids are
They
not even
can
18.
transfer twice a year.
Right, but it's also during this dead period, you have a chance to like just keep your mind blank a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't know if that's one of the reasons, but
That is one of the reasons he got busted was contacting players. During
no, I
dead
understand that.
periods,
I'm
yeah.
saying,
And
but
then
for a
lying
kid,
about it when they investigate.
But for one of the kids to be able to have a time where it's like, okay, nobody is talking to me. I can just think about everything.
Let me tell you something. If James Franklin is standing by with an NIL offer and says, you got to come to Penn State, I want that call immediately. Call me right away. No dead periods.
Yeah, I have no problem with dead periods.
Why'd I pick James Franklin?
Yeah.
Because I got so much family there in central Pennsylvania and Altoona. It's about an hour from State College.
I mean, he's a good coach. I just didn't know where that one came from.
Yeah, he's a great
You didn't
coach.
go with like Lincoln Riley
great
at USC.
school. You're right, I did
you know,
not.
That
I
was
did not.
an odd choice.
All right, fine.
What's up, fool?
I don't know if you guys saw last night that Manny Machado got pegged after Soto hit a home run by Perdomo of the Pirates, and Machado after the game said people don't respect him anymore. Today, Perdomo said he didn't throw at Machado because of the home run. He just doesn't like Machado.
Right.
Oh.
Are we still throwing at people in 2023?
So Luis Perdomo is a pitcher for the Pirates, right?
For the
I think
Pirates,
it's Luis. And Soto hits a home run, then he plunks Manny Machado.
Next pitch.
Machado feels like it's because I came after Soto, and this guy, Luis Perdomo, says, no, it's just because I don't like Manny Machado.
Right.
Well, I don't respect Machado. I never have.
Yeah, I've never been a big Machado guy. You know, it's not
Me neither.
Johnny Hustle, not
Right.
my cup of tea, all that crap. And he's having He's having a fine year, not a Manny Machado kind of year. He's not having an MVP year like he was having last year.
A down year in his regards.
It's really not a great Machado year. I think that this still happens. I still think guys get plunked. I still think there are message pitches, and I don't know exactly what went down last night. I don't blame him necessarily if he doesn't like Machado. I still think that it had to do with the home run more than anything else. What do you think?
I've never liked Machado. I don't think most people like Machado. I think ever since he said he doesn't want to hustle.
So you'd plunk him?
No, but if Machado's playing, I think, Brian, you said he's worried that people don't respect him.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said people don't respect him.
He's right. People don't.
Right. Perdomo, even after he hit him, kind of charged the plate a little bit, got in Manny's face as well.
Yeah.
So he wanted the smoke.
Right.
Yeah, right.
He deserves no respect. Blowing a bubble as he's going to first base.
I hate that. God, that was bad.
It was so frustrating.
Yeah.
Screw that guy.
What's up, Foo?
All right, so actress Raven Simone says she experiences psychic visions like the character she played on the Disney Channel show That's So Raven. That's for you, DeAndre. She claims she'll see a scene that is happening to me or that is going to happen to me in another dimension. I believe actually humans have the ability in their brain to tap into energy fields that allow for truth to connect when you know how to translate it correctly. I can walk into a room and it's reading energy and energy in the psychic plane because it's not on a physical material plane. I can't think of exactly when I've experienced deja vu, but I know that it's happened before. But this is kind of like on another level. Have you ever had a vision like Raven is explaining?
Obviously, I mean, I've had moments where I experienced deja vu where I'm sure I'm doing something that I thought I did before or I was in that spot before. I don't know what causes that particular thing. But no, I do not have visions of... What are her visions of? Visions of...
Like things that are going to happen.
She thinks she can see into the future.
Well, that kind of ties into our Wheel of Questions today. Good for her. Hit the stock market, get on DraftKings, go to Vegas, because you know who's going to win all the games.
I've always felt that if you could really see into the future, it would be a much bigger deal. I think people who say they can see into the future are full of hooey.
Some people, I think, are... attuned. There are a couple of people in my life who it feels like they tune in a little bit and you feel like you're connected to them on a different level. Mark Willard's wife was one of those people.
Yeah, she claims she's a medium.
Yeah, and I totally got it with her. She had this sort of quality about her, but no, I've not had any visions late. Although I did have a terrible nightmare.
Oh, yeah, about Ohtani and the Giants.
About Ohtani going to the Giants and then him staying there next year.
Oh, that's scary.
It was this terrible nightmare.
It's a terrible one.
What's up, Foo?
All right, so I can do one more here. I can either do a immaculate grid, but basketball version, so I figured that'd be something that, John, you'd be better at, or I can do one about the Arena Football League.
Don't care. Take your pick.
Mace, you have a choice?
I say number A.
All right, so let's do the immaculate grid then. See if this works. If this one doesn't work, I'll never do it again.
This is this grid thing these days.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically,
nice choice, Mason.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But it's basketball,
By
so
the way,
I think it should be a little bit easier.
If at once you don't succeed,
try one more time.
Is there something that actually happened? You have a big look on your face.
Yeah, read your phone.
Okay.
Go ahead, Greg.
I didn't get anything on my phone.
No, you're not on the chain.
Oh, how dare they? The Denver Nuggets and he played for the Nuggets and the Celtics.
Played for the Nuggets.
Nuggets and Celtics. That would be
the Nuggets and Celtics.
It's a current player, right?
It can be anybody. It can be past or present. So anybody that's ever played for the two teams. This is starting off swimmingly.
Yeah. Can't think of anybody.
Okay.
Good game.
No, all right. So the Arena Football, after a 4-year hiatus, the Arena Football League. Hold on, real fast.
What's up, Foo?
The Arena Football League is going back to 16 cities. Never doing that again. There are some really small towns on this list: Bakersfield, Salem, Odessa, Lake Charles. No way this works, right, John?
I don't think so. I mean, what makes or breaks these leagues is TV deals, and those aren't major cities. Those are, matter of fact, are the opposite of major cities. Again, football leagues other than the NFL, Mace, are short-lived.
Yes, they are.
I think the NFL has a monopoly on the great game of football, And my guess is this new Arena Football League fails. What do you think?
I completely agree. It's going to fail. Can people get the station in Bakersfield? Because I actually think for Bakersfield, this is probably pretty cool. They're going to smaller markets where, hey, we have a team for the first time in our town. I guess that's why they're picking smaller markets. But as John said, television money doesn't pay for smaller markets. They want the biggest markets possible. So Bakersfield isn't going to deliver a lot of bang in the TV deal buck.
So the TV deals don't usually work, right? Like that's how with arena football in general. But if you go to a small city like this, it can be like minor league baseball, where it's massive there. You go to a minor league baseball game and people absolutely love it because that's the only thing that's in the city.
Right.
So if they're never going to be able to see, Bakersfield's never going to have a football team. So if you get an arena football team there, they can actually do something.
But think about minor league baseball using your analogy, and how many minor league baseball teams have TV deals? Hardly any of them.
Well, but it's not about the TV deal, I don't think. Like minor league baseball, like you said.
How are you going to make money?
Well, minor league baseball teams make money.
Not a lot of them.
Oh, no, I think there are teams that do really, really well.
Well, but didn't they get rid of almost 50% of them a couple of years ago?
During the pandemic, they get rid of a bunch of teams. They weren't going to survive the pandemic.
But this is a way for a small city to have football.
Yeah, but again, it's good for Bakersfield. It'll be really cool if you're a football fan and you're in Bakersfield that you're going to your team. But in the end, a television deal is what's going to fund the network, and Bakersfield is not the kind of market that gets great television revenue.
No, but like if I go to Lancaster for whatever reason, driving through, I'm like, oh, I'll go see a Jethawks game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, we've been to Lake Elsinore. We've been to a bunch of the
Rancho
Cucamonga, the Quakes, been out there. I mean, all that, the minor league baseball stuff's cool. But again, they are subsidized by Major League Baseball.
Sure.
That's the one way if it was a minor league for the NFL and there was one minor league team that was associated with each NFL team, maybe then it would make sense. Would that make sense, John?
Maybe. I'm not rooting.
If it was a feeder league.
Yeah, I'm not rooting against anybody in this Arena Football League. I just think it's really hard to make money and succeed if those are your markets. It just becomes harder. Now, Greg may be right. If they're trying to do a minor league baseball vibe and they only care about gate, I think they can draw. But normally what makes or breaks those leagues is if they get a TV deal. And Lake Charles and Bakersfield doesn't sound like the type of league that's going to get a TV deal.
No, I would assume they'd be on TV in Bakersfield. They could probably get some kind of deal.
That's the problem, though. But TV stations in Bakersfield don't have disposable income.
Yeah.
It'll be hard.
So, no. Here's the answer on all NFL knockoffs. No, not happening. Not going to work.
Never has.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, nice effort, nice try. Didn't work. I don't. Is XFL even coming back?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's coming back. You just can't compete with the NFL, and people want the NFL and not some cheap knockoff in the spring or the summer.
What's up, fool?
Is that it?
Yep, that's it. And
There
also, the Nightmare King 32 says, yes, we get the station in Bakersfield.
Okay, good. Hi, Bakersfield.
They used to call that Lakersfield because we would play a preseason game there. We haven't been back in a few years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going back there.
All right, coming up next for you as we continue to this is really good. I was surprised what Austin Reeves says on this podcast. Surprised by it. We will play it coming up next for you. It involves Damian Lillard. That's next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
brand's radio station. And it is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwich between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
Finally, I get the studio to myself.
Mason. So fast.
Ireland. Oh, there you are.
And look, Jorge's just sitting here. He's like, "Oh, this was my old place of work."
Jorge's like, "Oh, I used to work on this show. I used to be here. I remember those days. It's in the past now."
John doesn't. He doesn't even remember who that guy is.
Turned the page.
Hey, it's Julio.
All right.
So is this something or nothing? Adam Schefter's on TV right now, talking about Aaron Rodgers agreeing to rework a 2-year, $75 million deal with the Jets.
Yeah.
It's a fully guaranteed contract, but it represents a $35 million pay cut. So, in other words, they're going to give him more years, but he's going to take less money.
Right. So my understanding of how this contract is structured is it's almost nothing this year, and then it's $105 million next year.
That can't be right.
I swear to God, that was on SportsCenter today.
Yeah.
Read his restructuring of his contract.
I'll read it.
Because, and this is one of those things. This is why Patrick Mahomes says, I'm the 8th highest paid quarterback now. I'm okay with that. I want my team to have talent. Aaron Rodgers, if he's taking a pay cut, wants his team to have talent. He's not in this for a long time anymore. He's in there for a short time. He wants to win a Super Bowl, wants talent. That's what Tom Brady did for years, took less money. So if that's what Aaron Rodgers is doing, I guess good for him.
Okay. Brian Pena, one of our listeners, just sent us a note that the XFL lost about $60 million in its first year under Dwayne Johnson's ownership and had to cut jobs. But next season looks to be much more profitable. League projected to make about $100 million. So they are going to give it another shot. The XFL next year.
By the way, I was wrong about Aaron Rodgers, just for the record.
Shocking.
He's making $1.1 million this year and $107.5 million next year.
That's a lot of money for 1 year.
$107.5 million.
107?
Is that now? That would be the highest single
in American professional
North American sports history, right?
It's more than Jaylen Brown.
That's more than Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, more than Jaylen Brown, exactly. $107 million next year. But taking less. Now
Is
you're
there
not
an out.
What's that?
Is there an out on that? Like, is it something where if he's on the roster, he gets the $107 million?
No.
Massive $500 bonus.
It's all guaranteed.
It's all guaranteed. This is guaranteed money. $1.1 million this year.
By the way,
$107.5 million next year.
I'm not against restructuring contracts if it's all guaranteed.
Well, that's what Matthew Stafford they didn't do. They could have.
No, is it all guaranteed though?
Yeah, it would all be. It would all
if
be.
it's all
guaranteed,
then I don't care.
Yeah, it would all be guaranteed.
If it's all guaranteed money.
It's just restructuring.
This doesn't look right, Mason. I'm looking at Spotrac, and they have $1.8 million for 2023, and then $38 million for 2024.
They just restructured the contract. It's breaking news.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this happened like this hour.
Yeah. So $107 million next year.
By the way, you said Austin Reeves on a podcast. You meant Austin Rivers.
Rivers, yeah.
This is what Austin Rivers said on this podcast is the most candid I've ever heard a player be. Now, part of it might be that I don't think Austin Rivers is on a team right now.
Oh, okay.
But he's still playing. He's still an active player. Like, I think he's going to get a deal somewhere. Just a matter of where.
Right.
But he was asked about, what do you think about Damian Lillard demanding a trade specifically to Miami? And here's what he said.
Regardless of how good of a player you are, man, the NBA is not, it's a privilege. And if you were a free agent, then you could choose where you were going to go.
Right.
That's the business.
Yeah.
But when you're not and you sign a deal, man, that's part of the business, bro. If you get traded somewhere, like, you got to go play, man. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
And this started with like James and Ben and all these guys doing this shit. It's bad for the league. This is why our CBA deal that we just signed, and I don't even want to get heavy into that. That thing is, don't even get me started on that deal that we got going, because it's top heavy. That's why you're seeing all these teams right now with, you either make $50 million or $2 million.
All right, so I can't believe he said it, because he said the quiet part out loud.
Yes.
But he's right. The reason this CBA is so bad, and the reason we have work stoppages, like right now we have this SAG-AFTRA actor strike, the reason we have strikes is because when guys like Dame, and I love Dame, but when guys like Dame do this, and they demand not only a trade, but they want to dictate where they go.
Call their shot. Yep.
Where they still have 4 years left on their contract. The owners then respond with, well, we can't have that. We got to change the system.
Right.
So then they'll shove a CBA down their throats that they don't like.
Right. And here we're at this point now where there's a new CBA, and there's next year essentially a second apron / hard cap. It means that there will be haves and there will be have-nots. There's quickly developing this system. I think he said it's either $50 million or $2 million.
Yeah, it's like, and he's right.
Feels like the league is filled with mega contracts and veterans minimum.
Well, and look at the Phoenix Suns. Look at the Boston Celtics. 3-4 guys making all the money.
Right.
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, and a bunch of minimum guys. In Phoenix, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, DeAndre Ayton, I mean...
And some guys.
Right.
Eric Gordon and some guys.
Right. And I think that's what you're going to see now is
extremely top-heavy teams.
And, that's good for the stars, but is it good for the league?
For the rank and file, absolutely not. For the rank and file, it's not a good deal at all.
And like I was reading...
And by the way, and if you go over the cap, you lose those exceptions. Those exceptions are really nice bumps from veterans' minimums. Now, those aren't potentially going to be available.
And I was reading Jessica Chastain, the actress, is on the picket lines with the SAG-AFTRA workers.
Right.
And good for her because she's never going to have a problem making money.
No.
She's a movie star.
Yep.
But she pointed out that the majority of people in SAG-AFTRA, the majority of that membership, you need to make $26,000 a year to qualify for your health insurance.
Right.
And she says most of them don't.
Nope.
And as long as the studios are refusing to pay, basically what the studios are refusing to do is pay for NIL, pay for name, image, and likeness.
Yep.
And as long as they're doing that, it's going to put a lot of people out of work. And that's why they're striking. But so when Austin Rivers is right,
yes,
if you have a signed contract and then you turn around and say, not only do I want to be traded, but I only want to be traded to Miami.
You've taken away every bit of leverage that your team has got. I can't believe that after all these years, all this loyalty to Portland, he put the screws to him by saying Miami or bust.
And if you allow it, if it happens, then everybody's going to demand a trade to L.A., Miami, or New York.
Right.
There has to be a better way.
Yeah. But he is right about now in terms of Dame. I understand why he wants out. I just wish,
and I understand why he wants to go to Miami.
Right, and that's understandable. You can privately say, "Hey, Miami's my preference here."
Right,
to Portland, but then you haven't taken away all negotiating power that Portland actually has, which is virtually nothing at this point. It's either Miami or bust. All right. I want to. Oh, I'm supposed to do this, and then I'm supposed to do that. All right. Okay. Here's the question: who are the 10 best wide receivers in the NFL? The players and coaches and executives have spoken. I've got that list coming up next for you. In the meantime, don't forget tonight, 7:10, Michelob Ultra going to be in the city of Orange to support the women's national team as they take on the Dutch. Join us for a watch party starting at 6 p.m. at Danny K's Sports Bar in Orange, 1096 North Main Street. Got to be 21 or older. That's tonight at 6 at Danny K's. And I think Cappy is going to be doing Shadano and Cap from Danny K's.
Yeah, well, he's going to try to.
And then he's going to be there. Morales is going to be there. Big CY. Anybody else?
Pepe.
Mantia's going to be there.
Jorge's going to be there.
Jorge. Hip, hip, hooray. Again, that's tonight at Danny K's Sports Bar, 1096 North Main Street in Orange. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
What's up, people? So
Dodgers, by the way, are sucking it up today. They're losing 6-1 in the 7th inning.
Tony Gonsolin got lit up.
Yeah. So,
TK
but I
Hernandez
turned
making
when
his
they were
debut.
losing 7-3 last night. I turned it off, and they came back and won 8-7. So there you go.
But you don't have a gummy right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I have one. I'm just not taking it.
You're not taking it while you're on the air, which is
Yeah.
a good thing. So thank you. But that was
Well,
part of it.
maybe it might make the show better. You
Yeah,
never know.
it
very
definitely
well
could. So, John, I've decided that, and I'm going to be on assignment for a few days here, Thursday, Friday, Monday. I'll come back for the trade deadline. But I've decided that I'm going to dedicate a portion of my efforts right now.
Okay.
In addition to this show and the Culture Pop podcast, I'm also going to dip my toe back into acting.
Okay.
So all I need is a role.
Okay.
So I've got an audition.
All right.
This is my audition. This is a scene that I did with Julia White.
Okay.
In the fine motion picture Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus for the Sci-Fi Channel. Go ahead and hit that, Ringo.
You've signed your waiver not to seek medical attention. You were the only survivor on a ship that carried over 2,200 sailors.
Have you recovered any of the satellite transmissions from the USS Gibson? I need the data. I need the data because...
Would you like some water?
Yeah, no. I need the data. The sonic impulses attract the megalodon, and it's possible that they caused the megalodon attack. It is possible that I caused.
I think I'm out of lines. Yeah, I'm
Out.
out of lines there.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I would not use that as your audition tape.
Well, I mean, it's an actual movie role.
No. Get that thing you did when you played Lee Atwater.
The Lee Atwater movie. Yeah,
that'll
that was
get
good.
you. That'll get you the deal.
Yeah. So, Bergman, what do you think? What do you think of the scene?
I think you're a very good radio host.
Are you serious?
Mason, here's my official assessment of that particular scene.
Yes.
I think your best work is ahead of you.
You're doing your best work now, man.
So here's what I'll say. Send me the sides. Send
Okay.
me sides. I'll
All
do
right.
the sides live on the air.
I don't
I'll
know
audition for these parts live on the air. Sides are like the lines that you do to audition with.
Okay.
So
Why are they
send me
called
the sides.
See, I'm
I
surprised
don't
that you're agreeing to read because most big stars refuse to read.
Oh no! I'm all about doing the work, man.
Okay.
I'm all about doing the work.
Good
I
to
don't
know.
want any special treatment unless you just want to put me right onto NCIS. That is the show that I want to be on. is
Really?
NCIS.
See, if I could be on this is an interesting question. If I could be on any show, because right now all the good shows are on like
Streaming,
Netflix
yeah.
and streaming stuff, and I'd like to be on America's Got Talent, but I don't have a talent.
You have no talent.
Yeah.
My mom and not stepdad Leo love America's Got Talent.
So
Love that show.
I wonder what I could do.
I know what Bergman could do his dance.
Oh, it's true. Put you on America's
I'm
Got
telling
Talent.
you,
Just
you-
get out there
That
and
is
dance.
not a good dance
You
for
would
that
be
show.
so good
That
on
would not be a good
America's
dance.
Got Talent.
I mean, I'm very talented just in general.
Ringo, do you have any talents?
Not that I could think of. Not that I would.
That's not a
like,
good
act
start.
out or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, what were you going to do about NFL wide receivers?
NFL wide receivers. So I have come across a list, and this was put together by NFL players, coaches, and executives.
Okay, so these are how many? 10 people?
10 people.
All right,
10
Bergen, let's see how many we can
10
get.
best wide receivers in the NFL.
All right, Justin Jefferson has to be on the list.
And he is number 1.
Jamar Chase.
Yep, got to be
Jamar
there.
Chase is number 3.
Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Devontae Adams is number 2.
Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill is number 4.
Now, wait a minute.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp, I think, would be there, but he
because he was injured last year.
Yeah,
I don't think that
does
would
that
matter.
affect it?
I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
let's try it. Cooper Kupp,
number 5.
All right, so we have
look
one.
at that. We did 1 through 5.
You've got 1
pretty
through
quick.
5.
All right, so okay, Bergman, this is going to
Now it gets tougher.
Yeah, now it's going to get harder.
So let's just talk about it. DeAndre Hopkins just signed with Tennessee.
Yeah, but he didn't really play. What about Debo?
Debo has to be on there. Sure.
Debo.
Honorable mention.
Oh,
wow, really?
Wow, that's some hating. Okay, Greg, what about CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb, sure. I'm in on that one.
Number 10.
Okay.
All right, here's one.
So,
okay, went to this, I got 2 that I'm thinking of. You tell me if either one's on there.
Okay.
One, Stephon Diggs in Buffalo
I think
statistically
I think
is
Stephon
always
Diggs is one
good.
of the best
All right, we'll try him.
Number 6.
All right, so we're missing 3 of them.
You're missing 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, and 9.
Okay, so
you really don't think DeAndre Hopkins in there? Okay.
Well, maybe.
We'll hold that. We'll hold that.
What about Eagles won a Super Bowl last year?
Right.
A.J. Brown caught like 100 passes. Brian's nodding. You think it's A.J. Brown?
You like A.J. Brown?
Let's try it. It could be our second strike, but we'll try it. A.J. Brown.
Number 7.
Ooh.
So you're only missing 8 and 9.
Only missing 8
All right.
and 9. Have we mentioned this one of those yet?
No, you've not mentioned.
So it's not DeAndre Hopkins.
Did we guess CeeDee Lamb or no?
Yeah, we did.
They're both NFC teams.
They're both NFC
Okay, how about-
teams.
how about
Okay, so
this?
is it somebody with?
How about this?
Okay.
Mike Evans.
He fell off.
Would you put Hopkins? You want to try Hopkins for Evans?
No. He said we didn't mention him, so it's
Okay.
not Hopkins. So.
But I'm running out of guys.
No, so am I. I'm trying to think of
Wait, they're both
no,
NFC?
in Seattle. In Seattle.
Oh, DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf, number 8.
Aha. See. Okay.
All you're missing is number 9.
Have we mentioned him yet?
No.
Yeah. See. So it's not.
He's often overlooked. I will say that.
The USC guy that plays for the Lions.
Oh, really?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. You think? How many
try.
strikes? We have 1 strike.
We have
right?
1 strike. Yeah. Give it a
All
shot.
right. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Got votes.
I didn't think so. I thought that one was a little bit too.
Number 9 is Terry McLaurin.
Never would have gotten that.
He had a really
we wouldn't have gotten
last
that one.
year. He
Never
was on
would've
my
gotten that.
fantasy team and was really, really good.
If you said he was on the Woofed, maybe I would have gotten it, but otherwise I would
Did
not
you
have
see
gotten it.
Washington Football Club is one
Woofk?
of the one of the possible name changes for
that's
Washington?
It's fine.
Washington Football Club.
I like Washington football.
It's not as good as the Woofed.
The Woofed
Yeah,
is
the
better
Wolf
than the
I
Woofed.
think is the best.
I mean, Woofed doesn't really roll off the tongue.
The other one I heard was Red Hogs.
I mean, they have
Just
reasons.
Hogs would be okay.
Red Hogs is a terrible, terrible name.
I'm sure there's reasons for all of it, but just stick to the football team, man. Like, that was the best name that you had.
Yeah, that was the best name.
Ringo, what do you think?
Yeah, they're going to change from team to club. That just seems idiotic.
Yeah. Why not just stick with team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
Ringo.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's fine. In his tie dye.
Can you explain to me? We were at LAFC a couple weeks ago,
Yes,
right?
we were.
And they played St. Louis City FC.
Okay. Yes.
The football club, or no, sorry, it wasn't. But
St. Louis
City. It was like
St. Louis City?
Yeah, it was St. Louis City, which there is no. It's just St. Louis. And then there was another thing about it. It's not football club. It was something football.
St. Louis City SC.
SC, yeah. Why are they the soccer club when everything else is the football club?
And why do you need the word city?
Right. Why are they just St. Louis
By the way,
Football Club?
I did tell you guys this. I ran into Tom Penn on 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I said, he helped start LAFC.
Yes.
I said, what are you up to, man? He goes, I'm starting a new football club in San Diego.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's
there's
big.
a San Diego MLS
Yeah, he's
team
involved
coming.
with that. So
Can you have
is
two
hot now.
teams?
No, he doesn't work for LAFC anymore.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch Messi last night?
I watched highlights.
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
I'm beginning to think.
I'm not paying for the Apple within the Apple yet.
I'm beginning to think he's too good for the league. In
He's
other words,
really
it's
good.
like putting LeBron in like the CBA or like the G League.
G League.
And he would just dominate. I'm thinking Messi might be too
Is
good
he
for
just
the
playing
MLS.
with everybody?
He's better than everybody else in the world.
Is he better than Beckham was when Beckham came to
It's
the
the
Galaxy?
same.
I think it's better. I think it's bigger. It's Messi is 1,000 times
Bigger,
bigger.
but I mean,
bigger
who's-
and better. Like Beckham was
Messi's
good, but he was
better.
never. He was never Messi level.
Right, he was not.
Messi is legitimately the best player in the world. You can probably talk about Mbappe being better at the moment.
Yeah,
but he's still top 2, 3 ever, or
Yeah,
even right now.
There's no question.
So he's gonna be 1,000 times better than everybody else in the.
But he's
MLS.
still fun to watch.
Oh, he's amazing to watch. Miami's gonna win the whole thing.
You think so?
Well, He can do it himself.
They're in last place right now, so he's got a long way to go.
Well, if they win every game moving forward, they got a shot.
Yeah, they do. They do. It looks like they've got
Are they really
18
the last
points
place?
so far. Yeah.
Oh, maybe they won't win it all this year.
In 18 points, they're last in the East, and in the West, LAFC is number 2, just a couple of points behind St. Louis.
How far can you tell how far back Miami is to?
Well, here. LAFC has 37 points, and Inter Miami has 18. Inter Miami is the fewest points in the league, even after these last 2 wins.
So, me not knowing anything about MLS,
me being an authority,
right?
Because I have a Google machine.
I don't think they're going to win the whole thing. I might be off on that.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know how
they could though.
Work
you never know.
MLS.
He's that
Somebody,
good.
Dave Deno might know.
Jorge knows.
Oh yeah, Jorge might.
Do you know Ringo?
I don't.
No. Okay.
Sorry,
we won't
I
turn
won't.
to you for that.
I won't put you on the spot there.
All right. Coming up next for you, John. What are the odds that the Rams finish last in their division? The odds they finish last in their division.
Okay.
And I'm going to try a new hair care product, and I got this from Around the Horn. That's coming up next for you. Mason, Ireland,
Really?
710 ESPN.
Oh, hello. It's Chris Morales. Guess what is happening this Wednesday in the city of Orange? Our friends Michelob Ultra are wanting you to come out and support the U.S. women's national team. Hold on, let's pop this. Oh, beautiful. Danny K's in the city of Orange right there on Main Street. 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 26th. We're going to come on out, support the women's national team. Our friends at Michelob Ultra will have prizes. We're going to have some fun. Party, oh party. I'll even bring this.
This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
Somebody just pointed out on Twitter, the town is shut down. There's nothing to act in right now. There is
interesting time for you to return to acting.
It's a perfect
Your timing is perfect.
Impeccable. Impeccable.
That is very funny.
Never miss a moment of Mason and Ireland. You can always listen to the podcast on the all-new ESPN LA app, brought to you by Francis Coppola's Diamond Collection Wines. Coppola's Diamond Collection offers the perfect wines to celebrate both big and small occasions this summer. Enjoy your summer with Diamond Collection Wines. I've canceled my return to acting for now.
Yeah.
My triumphant return.
That didn't last long.
So we've talked a lot. We talk a lot about the Rams, obviously. I'm a Rams season ticket holder, love the Rams. Kev is a friend of mine. And a lot of people have been asking, when's the Culture Pop podcast with Kevin going to come out? It's going to come out on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, Tuesday this coming when I'm back. And a lot of people are like, they're tanking for Caleb Williams. I asked specifically Demoff about that. And the reality is the Rams, and I don't know if they're a 7-win team or an 8-win team or maybe a 9-win team and maybe skitter into the playoffs, whatever. The worst team in the division is Arizona.
I agree.
And so if anybody from the NFC West is going to get Caleb Williams, it's going to be Arizona. They are in a total and complete rebuild, new head coach, new general manager, quarterback with a torn ACL.
Kyler Murray's not going to be ready for the start of the season?
Let's see. His game thrives on tore his ACL. He could miss the start of the upcoming season.
Okay.
While recovering from the knee injury.
Yeah, they're going to finish behind the Rams.
Yeah. And
I think the Rams could finish ahead of Seattle, too.
I do, too. I think they can. It'll be interesting. The first 5 games, I was looking at the schedule today. They open up at Seattle. That's a big, big game, divisional game. In their first 5 games, they play Cincinnati, San Francisco, and one other major team. Does anybody have the schedule open? In the first, and San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Philly, and Cincinnati in the first 5 games.
Yeah. Well, those are 3 losses.
Oh, you're throwing in the towel too easy, my friend.
Which one of those teams do they beat?
It's going to be San Francisco.
Is the game here?
Yes, it is.
The only time they've ever beaten them here is in the NFC Championship game that one year when that guy dropped the interception.
The only time it counted. Why did everybody do that with the Rams? P.S. Jaquisti Tart dropped an interception. P.S. Nicole Roby Coleman
laid him out on a Waffle House frying pan.
Tommy Lee Lewis, I think that receiver was. There's always like an ifs and ands and buts and ors with the Rams. The Rams won legit. So
I didn't say the Rams didn't win legit. I'm just saying that if you're going to pick the Rams to beat the Niners, there's a history of the Niners being really good against the Rams.
Unless it's a really important game and then the Rams beat them.
Well, this isn't a really important game. It's one of the first 5 games of the season.
Well, absolutely. You're setting the tone for the year now.
God, you're going to start with this again. Week 2 is a must-win.
Well, week 2 is an important. The first 5 games are going to be very interesting.
Right. None of them are must-win.
The Rams could. John. The first 5 games are tough.
Right, but I mean, if they win 3 of them,
sure. If they
then they're laughing.
If they win 3 of them,
they go 3-2 in the first 5. They're in good shape.
Who's the good team they're going to beat?
Who are the 5? Give me the 5 games.
Okay. Rams schedule. Hang on a second. They open up obviously at Seattle.
Okay, I think they could win that game.
Then they go. Okay, hang on one second. All right. So at Seattle, then they're home to San Francisco.
Okay, so 1-1.
Then they're at Cincinnati.
1-2.
Then they are at the Eagles.
1-3.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, who's the 5th game against?
5th game is against the Cardinals.
2-3. We can live with 2-3. Then you get out of that tough stretch and you go to town.
Yeah, 2 and.
Do you want 2 and 3?
Well, no, I don't.
I mean, that's 2 wins.
My first
you want
choice.
Those 2
my
wins?
First choice is 5-0.
Well, no, obviously, but no, those 2 wins are 2 wins, probably too many to get Caleb.
No, we're not getting Caleb.
So you're totally out on the Caleb.
Totally,
Williams.
I don't think it's happening. I don't think the Rams are tanking. I think the Rams.
You know what that means, Bergman?
Games.
Raiders.
I was going to say we'll tank. We don't care.
0-17, baby.
See, the Raiders are a team that could potentially tank.
Right.
They should tank. I'm not even kidding.
They absolutely should tank.
100% they should be 0-17.
Especially if we don't sign Josh Jacobs and we have Jimmy G at quarterback.
Don't you think Josh Jacobs is ultimately going to come in?
I do, but if we don't get him, tank commander, baby. Let's go.
All in on the tank. Even if Josh Jacobs comes, I'm still all in on the tank. Jimmy G's not the answer. Caleb Williams is.
Yeah, I don't think – I think the worst team in football is definitely Arizona.
I'm trying to think of who else is going to compete with them.
Washington.
For the bottom. No, I don't. I think Washington will win 5 games. I think
Houston.
Well, last year, remember,
Houston's possible.
But they just took a quarterback.
They just took a quarterback. And remember, 4 wins is what got the number 1 pick last year. The Rams Rams were 6, right?
Look, it can't be an NFC team. The NFC is too bad. There's one good team in the NFC. Everybody else is going to
Mace, there were a couple of 3-win teams last year.
I think Houston had a 3-win.
Yeah.
See, they took their quarterback, which makes that interesting.
A lot of quarterbacks went in this last year. That's why you can still get them. You may not need to be the last place team.
Oh God, the Dodgers are getting boat raced.
Are they?
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're right, John. There's 3-14, 3-13, 3-13-1.
Texans were 3-13-1.
Who was 3-14? Carolina?
Chicago.
Or no, yeah, Chicago, and they traded the number 1 pick to Carolina because they didn't want to give up on Justin Fields.
Yes, and Houston was next, 3-13-1. Arizona next, 4-13. Indianapolis next, 4-12, and then the Rams at 5-12. 4-12-1, and the Rams 5-12. God, they were so close.
Yeah,
to get
Colts
the
could
first
stink
pick.
again.
They didn't have their pick, so
do they have their pick this year?
Yes, have their pick this year.
But the Colts just took Anthony Richardson. So why would they?
Yeah, they're
no, but I'm just saying the Colts could stink. I mean, so they could trade it. Well, if the Colts have the worst record, though, they could trade the pick.
Sure,
that's what the Bears did
to the Raiders.
Sure, but
Caleb just fits in Las Vegas.
Oh, blah blah blah.
I think Caleb fits anywhere.
He really does.
Yeah, I'll tell you, those first 5 games. You're right.
Did you guys see the story today that Colorado now is thinking about going to the Big 12 because the Pac-12 can't get a TV deal?
Yeah.
I mean, Pac-12 cannot get out of its own way.
Well, what is their TV deal worth? Their TV deal is worthless.
Right.
Who cares about watching Arizona play?
So normally
at 7 o'clock at night.
Normally, Colorado,
exactly.
you would say, no big deal. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Except they have Dion. They have all this buzz around him now. Yeah, I mean, the Pac-12 really is the Keystone Cops. They can't get anything right.
But reality, there is no TV deal.
How would they do with a ham sandwich?
What is the
They'd
TV,
screw it up.
What is the TV deal for the Pac-12?
Especially without USC and
without
UCLA.
USC and UCLA, I mean, good luck. Good luck. It's not a valuable package at all.
They could put it on what's Channel 5, the CW network. The Pac-12 on the CW network. Yeah, they're going to have a bad deal, man. I don't understand why they're not going out and getting other schools.
Well, that's what they should be doing. I don't understand what game they're playing either. Now, breaking, is this today?
Bergman, how's your game?
It's okay. Tyler made it, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, God. You punted the game again?
I did punt the game.
You just
I didn't
the
have
game.
time. I absolutely punted it. Tyler did it, and he did it on the Women's World Cup.
Wait a minute. That's what my game was
It's
on
different
Monday.
questions.
Yeah,
it's different questions.
This is getting ready for. That was getting ready for. Who do we play?
We play the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. The toughest game they're going to have.
We're getting ready for the Dutch tonight, John.
Yes.
It's a whole new world.
All right, so 7 o'clock tonight, Bergman. Are you watching the Dodger game or are you watching the women?
The Dodger game's going to be over.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm
they
watching
played
the
a day
women.
game,
Yeah,
so the women have the stage to themselves.
Yeah, down 8-1. That's over. That's over.
Wait a minute. I said that last night when they were down 7-3, and I paid for it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, coming up next for you, it is Game of Games. It's a special.
Bergman mailed it in again.
But this is a very important game of games. Because.
Oh, I can lock it up.
Or I can win one.
No, you aren't
winning. If I
winning.
don't win today, it means I've been shut out for the month of July. And
Is anybody from the afternoon show playing?
I don't think I've ever been shut out before.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Shut out in a month?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's happened many times.
A month without winning a game? I luck into one game.
That happens.
All right, well, let's see. Okay. You're on trial next.
This is it. We'll do Game of Games coming up. Cappy will join us. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time, and it is Bergman's game today, which, of course, was written by Tyler.
Right.
And we are joined live now by Cappy.